He's in my association. Home plate. He's good. He's done final games. Several. Phil Natera. I'll probably mention it. Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to today's education-based IHSAA Varsity Boys Baseball game. This radio coverage is made possible through audiosportsonline.net. That's ASO. That's Rob Kendall. Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. That's weekday mornings, 9 to noon on 93.1 FM. Or you can go to WIBC.com. Today's game going to feature the Caston Comets. They're going to host the Lafayette Central Catholic Knights. What a beautiful field they have here. The baselines are grass. A lot of teams decide to go ahead and take the baselines that are dirt, sod them in, and they become grass. That's just a nicer way of doing it. And we'll mention the Knights are down the first baseline, getting some information from Coach Bourdonnais. They're getting ready to have the umpire meeting. We'll mention the third base dugout occupied by the Caston Comets. We're working up here in the booth. Jason Hurd going to do the public address. And again, your name? Simon McGrew. I tell you what, Jason, you're a busy guy. That's a good thing. Simon, good to meet you. What grade are you in?
I'm a freshman.
Tell you like it here?
Yes.
Very nice atmosphere here at Caston.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you a big fan of Rochester?
Not at all.
Not at all. You don't like their mascot, the zebras?
Nope, the Comets are better.
There you go. That's the way to be. What kind of grades you making, and what kind of I don't know, are you taking a lot of math and English and science?
I have all A's, and I'm taking a geometry class and English 9.
Geometry as a freshman?
Yep.
That is amazing. When they mention geometry to me, I just say, gee, I'm a tree. I didn't take a lot of geometry. I took 1 year of algebra. I did take consumer math, so I know how to work my checkbook. I tell you what, you're going to do the score. You're going to keep the balls and strikes. So you're going to keep them pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely.
That'll be helpful for me because sometimes I have to remember stuff. I tell you what, we did a couple games this year earlier, and they were messing with me. They were purposely not helping me to understand the balls and strikes. So I had to work extra hard those two games.
Oh, I'll help you out.
I appreciate it, Simon. Tell you what, you're telling me, some guys from Hamilton Heights. You're talking about Simon Knott, and I tell you what, their dad is just the coolest. And what a great group of people. It's nice that you know them from that far away. We're going to talk to Jason here in a moment. Right now they're having a plate meeting at home plate, and they're getting ready to talk it over. And I think I got some notes here. We'll talk a little bit about the home team on the scoreboard. That's the Caston Comets. Caston Comets, they are currently 13-5 on the season. They're 6-1 at home. They're 7-4 on the road. They've not played in a neutral site. They have a school enrollment of 241. They're in Class 1A, Sectional 50. There are 7 in their sectional, and their sectional will be played right here at Caston High School. In their sectional, Caston, North Newton, North White, Pioneer, South Newton, Tri-County, West Central. The principal at Caston High School is Chuck Evans. The athletic director is Trent Taco. Just met him up in the booth. He called me about an hour and a half ago. Very kind gentleman. His athletic secretary is Aaron Klein. Caston High School is located at 9815. That's Indiana 25, Rochester, Indiana 46975. You can reach them by phone at 574-598-8000. On the web, it's CastonCometsAthletics.com. There were the colors red, white, and royal blue. They perform in the Hoosier North Conference. There are 8 teams in the Hoosier North, and alphabetically they are the Caston Comets, Culver Cavaliers, North Judson Blue Jays, North Miami Warriors, Pioneer Panthers, South Central Satellites, Central Catholic, familiar with the Satellites, Triton Trojans, and the Winnemac Warriors. The head coach for the Caston Comets is Blake Mollenkoff. We'll talk about the Knights here momentarily. Getting ready to have the national anthem right now. They're talking right now in the public address is Jason Hurd. He's got a couple of sons on the team. We'll mention first baseman Noah Hurd. He'll wear number 24. His other son, he's the DH, wears number 24. That's London Hurd. And his son right beside me keeping the scoreboard, Simon Hurd. He's a freshman. And he's sporting that red sweatshirt pretty nicely. And so getting ready for baseball, I will mention I recognize the home plate umpire. We have got a good one tonight. Home plate umpire, Phil Natero. He's in the Kokomo Umpire Association. That association is ran by Dan Adams. So Phil Natero, he speaks quite often and rightfully so in those meetings. Fortunate enough, I get to attend those meetings, and it's very kind to be able to get to do that. So they're talking about the starting lineups right now. Getting ready for baseball. 5:59 p.m. Getting ready to have the national anthem here momentarily. We'll go ahead and mention Lafayette Central Catholic Knights. The school was founded in 1956. They have a school enrollment of 302. They are currently 11-4 on the season. They're Class 2A, Sectional 37. 7 in their sectional. And they'll play their sectional at Lafayette Central Catholic. In their sectional, Benton Central, Delphi, Central Catholic, North Montgomery, Rensselaer Central, Seeger, Western Boone. The principal at Central Catholic is Darrell Beck. The athletic director is Tim Bourdonnais. The assistant AD is Charlie Roberts. The athletic trainer is Sarah Igo. We'll mention Central Catholic High School located at 2410 South 9th Street, Lafayette, Indiana, 47909. By telephone, it's 765-474-2496. On the web, LCCathletics.com. There were the colors navy blue and white. They perform in the Hoosier Conference. There are 9 teams. Alphabetically, they are Benton Central, Central Catholic, Hamilton Heights, Logansport, Tipton, Twin Lakes, Rensselaer Central, West Lafayette, and Western. The head coach for the Central Catholic Knights is Tim Bourdonnais. Tim Bourdonnais is a 1987 graduate from Lafayette Central Catholic High School. So they're finishing up the lineup right there. Beautiful day. Tell you what, close to 70 degrees tomorrow, about 75 or even better. Now they're talking about some rain, but the rain's not going to be much. They mentioned rain in about every forecast for this week, but it's scattered, big time scattered. So baseball here today on a Tuesday. Caston Comets, Central Catholic Knights.
And now if everyone would rise,
we're going to stand at attention. We're going to set this down for our national anthem. As our national anthem, nothing better than the United States of America. They're getting ready to get some warm-up tosses here on the surface. Pitching today for the Caston Comets is going to be Eli Holloway. Eli Holloway, we'll mention, on the season, he wears number 8. Eli Holloway has an ERA of 2.16. His win-loss record, he's won 2, he's lost 2. This is appearance number 7. This is game start number 5. He's got 22 and 2/3 innings under his belt. He's given up 29 hits, 23 runs. 7 of those runs were earned. And I will also mention, he's faced 119 batters. He has thrown 438 pitches. He has struck out 25 batters. He's walked 13. So Phil Matero getting knuckled up right there with Coach Bourdonnais. Phil Matero, I tell you what, he's done a lot of games. Phil Matero has worked at Victory Fields more than once. I did see him at Delphi when the Knights were in the sectional. That was when last time they were 2A. Phil Matero did the second game after the Knights game. I think the Knights played Seeger. Seeger had one heck of a pitcher that particular season. And he went on and played college ball. He hit the ball well. I'm remembering this. I think the Knights had half as many home runs as that pitcher did batting. That pitcher had twice as many home runs that season than the Knights did as a team. So they're getting ready to throw one down here momentarily. We'll mention sectional is going to be right here, Class 1A, Sectional 50, right here at Caston High School. First round, it's going to be Tri-County and North Newton. Second game will be West Central and Caston. Third game will be North White and South Newton. Pioneer will get the bye. There are 7 teams in that section. We'll go over that again here momentarily. Stepping into bat for Central Catholic, it's going to be number 9, Hudson Gutwein. Gutwein going to step in, right-handed batter. Working from the windup, 1 foot on, 1 foot off. Here comes the first pitch of the ball game. Eli Holloway, ball low at 6:06 p.m. 1 ball, no strikes. He'll step back in, right-handed batter's box. 1 ball, no strikes. Peering in, looking at signals from his catcher, Gavin Mollenkoff. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Eli Holloway doing the pitching today for the Caston Comets. Here comes the wind and the 2-0 pitch. Right across the dish, top of the zone, strike called. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Knights batting, top of the first inning. First batter in the lineup. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball. Pulled severely foul near the Caston dugout, third base side. Right-handed batter, Hudson Gutwine. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Peering in, here comes the wind in the 3-2 pitch. Checks his swing, gonna be a strike called. They're gonna drop third strike, they'll throw to first. They'll get the put out. Good play. Gavin Mollenkoff, the catcher, steps out in front and then finds Noah Hurd at first base. There's 1 out. 1 out, top of the first inning. Next batter going to step in for the Knights. 2-hitter, number 12. That's Alex Schumer. Alex Schumer playing second base for Central Catholic. Left-handed batter, working from the windup. Eli Holloway. Just outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. You'll lick the fingers, you'll dry off, and then he'll step on the rubber. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Beautiful stadium. They've got a mesh home run fence. It's blue with a red top on it. The home run fence is about 4 feet tall. It's not real tall, but it's a good fence that you could rob a home run fairly easily. Here comes the pitch. Outside half, strike called. 2 balls, 1 strike to Schumer. Step back in, tap the plate. Working from the wind-up, peering in, looking at singles. Here comes the wind and the 2-1 pitch. Above the zone, ball 3. Phil Natero, as mentioned, home plate umpire. He's seen a lot of pitches in his day. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, he'll go the other way with it. It's going to be a foul ball out of play. Hit it towards the track, right out there, the track, football field, softball field, just beyond right center field here at the baseball field. Here comes the pitch. Low and away, ball 4. So Alex Schumer draws a walk, and next batter going to step in for the Knights going to be Lucas Gerke. Lucas Gerke, the 3-hitter, wears number 10. He'll play first base in today's ball game. Left-handed batter going to step in. Runner at first base, Alex Schumer. Peering in, looking at signals, out of a stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch from Holloway. Swung on, ground ball, first base. Going to be gloved right there. Noah Hurd. He steps on the base, and there are 2 out. Here in the top of the first inning, moving to second base is Alex Schumer. So the 4-hitter going to step in. That's number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Right-handed batter. Mikey Stapleton, a junior class member. Peering in, looking at signals, out of stretch. Eli Holloway, out of the set. He'll check second. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Good block. Good block there by Gavin Mollenkoff. Coach's son, also in center field, is Logan Mollenkoff. Coach's son, met the coach before the game. What a kind gentleman. Out of the set position, he'll check second base. Here comes a pitch from Holloway. Outside, a bit low. Count goes 2-0 to Stapleton. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch, he'll check second base. Now the set position, he'll check second again. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low and away, ball 3. Runner at second base, Alex Schumer, he drew a walk. There are 2 outs. We're in the top of the first inning. 3 balls, no strikes. Out of the set, Eli Holloway. Pitch comes in tight for ball 4. So jogging down to first base is Mikey Stapleton. Runners at first and second. Next batter going to step in for the Knights. He's the 5-hitter, number 3, Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane going to be the DH in today's ball game. He did play catcher last night. And we'll mention Ethan Miller is doing the catching tonight. Whereas number 29, he's playing the field for Jackson Kane as the DH. Pitch comes in tight. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Out of the stretch, peering in, looking at signals, Eli Holloway. Now out of the set, he'll check second base. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Strike called. Nope, he thought about it. Decided not to call it a strike. 2 balls, no strikes. Umpire's looking at the pitcher. He sees the ball released. He's thinking strike, strike, strike until it's proven to be a ball. Pitch comes in, ball inside. Count goes 3-0, and I guess they did. Might have called a balk there. So it's two balls and no strikes. Good job, Simon. 2-0 count. They called a balk. I didn't see the pitcher. But anyway, out of the set, here comes a 2-0 pitch. Above the zone, ball 3. So the Knights move up. They're 90 feet closer. And we'll mention Alex Schumer is at third base. Stapleton is at second base. Pitch comes in, strike called to Jackson Kane. Count goes 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. There are 2 out. Top of the first inning. Peering in, looking at signals. Eli Holloway. Here comes the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson Kane batting. He's the 5-hitter. 2 aboard, second and third. Peering in, looking at signals. Now out of the set. Eli Holloway going to call time in that right-handed batter's box. He'll step out. Holloway going to step back in the rubber. Peering in, looking at signals. Eli Holloway out of the set position. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Shortstop, fielded by Carson Harness. They'll throw across the diamond. They'll get the put out with Noah Hurd. And the Knights are out of the inning. Knights lead 2 on board. And the Knights do not score in the top half and getting ready to play second half of the first inning. Getting ready to bat the Caston Comets. And pretty good baseball right here. And so we'll mention a little bit about them. Our sponsorships we'll mention. Bringing this game to you this evening is Honey Creek Resort. Honey Creek Resort, what a beautiful place to be. Plan your vacation or maybe a weekend getaway. Honey Creek Resort with 840 acres of fantastic nature, fun, and recreation adventures are only a 1-day's drive away. Honey Creek Resort in southern Iowa, where fellow Hoosiers Beth and Terry Henderson have an amazing lodge and cabins with fabulous fishing, boating, golfing, horse carriages, and much more. Truly amazing adventures and hospitality await you at honeycreekresort.com. That's honeycreekresort.com. Make your group, business, and family getaway reservations today. You can reach them by phone at 641-724-1450. Again, that's 641-724-1450. Honey Creek Resort. So on the pitcher's rubber today for the Central Catholic Knights is Jonah Gerke. Jonah Gerke, we'll mention he's a sophomore, right-handed pitcher. Jonah Gerke has 14 innings under his belt. He's had 4 starts, I should say 3 starts. This is number 4. This is appearance number 5. And he's thrown to 75 batters, 285 pitches. He's got a win-loss record of 2 wins, no losses. He's given up 16 hits, 15 runs. 8 were earned. And he's walked 12. He has struck out 6. 3 went down looking. And he's hit 3 batters along the way. Stepping in, first batter for the Caston Comets. Left-handed batter, number 4, Logan Mollenkoff. Plays center field. First pitch, foul tip in the glove, couldn't hold it. Strike called. Strike one to Mollenkoff. He's right on time. So Logan Mollenkoff going to step back in. He's a freshman. You probably know him, Simon. For second cut. Pretty good cut. Swing and miss. So no balls, 2 strikes to Logan Mollenkoff. Simon right beside me. They're classmates. Closed stance. Peering in, looking over the glove. Here's the wind and the pitch. Outside a ball. First batter in the lineup, Logan Mollenkoff. He's got a lot of upside in front of him. Peering in, looking at signals over the glove. Jonah Gerke. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. High, well above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Logan Mollenkoff. On deck is Eli Holloway. Pitch comes in outside, ball 3. So 2 strikes, now 3 balls. Full count to Logan Mollenkoff. Out of the windup, here comes the pitch. Swung on, he'll pop one. Left side, out of play. Protecting the zone. Count remains 3-2. Logan Mollenkoff, center fielder himself. Peering in, looking at signals. Here comes the 3-2 again. High and away, ball 4. Nice poised at bat for Mollenkoff. Next batter going to step in for Caston. It's going to be number 8, Eli Holloway. Eli Holloway doing the pitching in today's ball game, a right-handed batter. So runner aboard at first base. Logan Mollenkoff draws a walk. Right-handed batter, Eli Holloway. Working out a stretch, now the set. Jonah Gerke, here's the pitch. He's going to foul one back, out of play. Ethan Miller giving it a good look, carrying that mask with him. Don't want to put that mask down too quick and end up tripping. He knows exactly what he's doing. So stepping back in. No balls, 1 strike. Pretty good lead at first base for Mollenkoff. Out of the set. Going to look at him. Going to step off the back, make a throw, nonchalant. Back safely is Logan Mollenkoff. So peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. Jonah Gerke. He'll look at first base, now the set position. Pickoff move again. Tag applied by Lucas Gerke, the brothers. Several sets of brothers in this game. There are 3 sets of brothers starting in this game. 2 sets of brothers for Caston. 1 set of brothers for Central Catholic. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Taking off for second base is Mollenkoff. He's going to make it standing up. The ball was almost misplaced. Good stop by Miller. But to his right, he couldn't make a throw. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Eli Holloway. Out of the set. Jonah Gerke, second base. Here comes the pitch. Outside of a ball, and Ethan Miller made a good stab right there to save a base. That ball would have been by him in a heartbeat. So stepping back in, Eli Holloway. Out of the set. He'll check second base. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. He'll drive one to left field. It's going to be a fair ball. Then that ends up in the corner. Picked up there in the absolute corner by Van Kirk. Coming in to score from second base is Logan Mollenkoff. And it's going to be a 1 RBI double off the bat of Eli Holloway. So Holloway trying to help himself and doing so. Stepping in for Caston. Stepping in, number 5, Gavin Mollenkoff. Gavin is the catcher. Working out a set now, check second base. Here comes the pitch. Gerke, breaking pitch outside a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Gavin Mollenkoff is a member of the junior class. Out of set, check second base. Here's the pitch. Swung on, he'll foul one. Right side, is it going to be playable? Yes. It's going to be caught by Lucas Gerke out in front of the Knights dugout. So the Knights pick up an out on a foul ball. Gavin Mollenkoff, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Caston has one run in. They have a runner at second base. Eli Holloway at second, double and an RBI. Stepping in for hitter number 24, Noah Hurd, first baseman. First pitch from Jonah, low for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Number 24, Noah Hurd, a member of the senior class. Peering in, looking at signals. Jonah Gerke out of the set. He'll check second base. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Backhanded, Mikey Stapleton. He'll go back to second base, and they'll get the runner off the bag there, trying to get back. And Eli Holloway is retired at second base. It's a fielder's choice. And safe at first is Noah Hurd. Next batter going to step in, number 11, Carson Harness. Plays shortstop, bats in the 5th spot. Another right-handed batter. So at first base, doing the base running is Noah Hurd. Working from the stretch, now the set. Jonah Gerke, here comes the pitch. Pitch comes in above the zone, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom of the first inning. Base runners accumulating for both sides. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Foul tip in the glove. Strike. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Noah Hurd, pretty good sized lead at first base. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Low and inside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Step back in. Carson Harness, the batter for the Comets. Out of the set, Jonah Gerke, here comes the pitch. Right across the dish, strike called. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Caston Comets have 1 run in here in the bottom of the first inning. Out of the set, here comes the 2-2. Foul ball back to the screen. So Carson Harness fighting him off, fouls that one back. Count's going to remain 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball's made live. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set now is Jonah Gerke. Here comes the 2-2 pitch again. Foul ball, out of play. 2-2 again on the way. Carson Harness fighting off the bad ones, looking for that good one. 2-2, nice lead there at first base for Noah Hurd. Out of the stretch, now the set. Here comes a 2-2. Drop third strike. He didn't catch it. His drop third strike. And he throws him out anyway at first base. And the Comets pick up 1 run. And it was an Eli Holloway double that scored Mollenkoff from second base. And at the end of 1 complete, Caston 1, Central Catholic 0. And we'll mention the sectional bracket. Sectional bracket for Central Catholic. Central Catholic will also host their sectional. That's Class 2A, Sectional 37. First game will be Central Catholic and Rensselaer Central. The winner of that game will play Benton Central in the semifinal. And then also Delphi and North Montgomery will go against each other. And then Western Boone and Seeger will go against each other. The 2 teams that win those games will play semifinal. And that's how it's going to work out at Central Catholic High School. So they're talking it up right now, getting some more warm-up tosses right there. Eli Holloway, we'll mention it. Doing the catching for Caston is Gavin Mollenkoff. He wears number 5. At first base, number 24, Noah Hurd. At second base, 21, Tucker Wolliver. At shortstop, number 11, Carson Harness. At third base, 22, Parker Zippelman. In left field, number 3, Drew McGrew. In center field, number 4, Logan Mollenkoff. And in right field, number 9, Lane Halterman. Here comes the first pitch. 41, batting for the Knights, Brennan Van Kirk. Takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Peering in over the glove, Eli Holloway, here comes the pitch. Fouled back, out of play. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. A day like today, you don't know whether you ought to wear a sweatshirt or just go sleeveless. It's a beautiful day. Working out a windup, Eli Holloway. Here's a 1-1 pitch, low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Going to manicure the landing area right there for Eli Holloway, the pitcher's mound. He'll peer in over the glove. Here comes the wind and the pitch, the 2-1. High and tight, ball 3. Brennan Van Kirk plays left field for the Knights. He'll step back in. Wind's blowing, pretty good windy day, like a Wrigley Field. Pitch comes in a bit above the zone, ball 4. So Brendan Van Kirk is at first base. Next batter going to step in. He's the 7-hitter, number 14, Jonah Gerke. Jonah Gerke doing the pitching today for the Knights. Left-handed batter. Working from the stretch, peering in, looking at signals from Gavin Mollenkoff. Working out a set position. First pitch to Gerke. Outside of ball. So Eli Holloway wondering about that pitch, and I'm kind of wondering the same thing. This is not the final game of the season. Working out a stretch, peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set position, Holloway. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Strike called. So strike called by the home plate umpire. Sometimes an umpire can call a pitch and not really mean what he just said, and he'll make it up. And he might have just done that right there. Counts 1-1. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Signals being given. Coach Bordnay, third base. Modest lead at first base for Van Kirk. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Low, going to get by the glove of Mollenkoff. He's going to go back to the screen. So Van Kirk moves over to second base. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Second batter here in the top of the second inning for the Knights. Knights have 6 games this week. This is their only away game. Out of the set, here comes a pitch from Holloway. Inside, going to be hit by pitch. Hit by pitch, Jonah Gerke. He'll jog down like nothing happened. Next batter for the Knights going to be the 8-hitter, number 5, Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick going to step in. Colton Minnick has 6 hits on the season. Colton Minnick climbing that average from below 200 to 261. On base, 414. Working out a stretch, peering in, looking at signals. Eli Holloway out of the set position. 2 aboard, first and second. He's going to square the bunt, pull the bat back. It's a ball low. Short hops the glove of Mollenkoff. So timeout on the diamond. Going to walk out. Coach Blake Mollenkoff going to talk with his infield. And we'll mention today's ball game is in part being brought to you by Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies, you can shop them online at noblesvilletrophies.com or stop in if only to browse around. They're located at 1740 South Penn Street, Noblesville, Indiana. They've got trophies, they've got awards, they have plaques, and much more. Fast turnaround, prices are low. They're so low you may want to be a repeat customer. That's Noblesville Trophies, 1740 South Penn Street, Noblesville, Indiana, 46060. They're open Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can reach them by phone, 317-773-7391. Again, 317-773-7391. Noblesville Trophies. Stepping in, Colton Minnick. Runners at first and second for the Knights. Out of set, Holloway. He'll try to bunt that one. He came up empty. Count goes 1-1 to Colton Minnick. So we'll look for signals once again. Coach Bourdonnais, his vision of him at third base coaching is not available for me. I got a wall right there. But I'm fortunate to be here. Here comes a pitch from Holloway. Strike called. Count goes 1-2 to Colton Minnick. I'd have two aboard first and second base. Van Kirk and Jonah Gerke at first base. Peering in out of the stretch, looking at signals. Now check second base. Out of the set, he'll check second again. Here's the 1-2. He's going to punch one. Going to go to second base. It's going to be caught at second base behind the bag. Nice play by Tucker Wolver. Pretty close to being on step on second. But Van Kirk right there at second base. So one out here in the top of the second. Next batter for the Knights is going to be the 9-hitter, number 25, Vince Talenko. Vince Talenko, center fielder. Vince Talenko did the pitching last night versus Clinton Prairie. Out of the set, check second base. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back, out of play. No balls, one strike. Knights and the Comets. Not too far to travel. Upper region, Northern Territory. About a 65-mile drive for myself. Here comes a pitch from Holloway. Short hops a glove. Nice block by Gavin Mollenkoff. The catcher saving a base for each runner. One ball, one strike. One out. Peering in again, looking at signals. Eli Holloway out of the set position. Check second base. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Inside edge, strike called. One ball, two strikes. Vince Talenko. Talenko plays center field for the Knights. Peering in, looking at signals. Now out of the set. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Talenko. He's going to foul one right side, out of play. Might get a car. He's going to roll down the asphalt there. These cars are nearby. Got to park at your own risk. But it's a beautiful school. They've got everything you'll ever need here at Caston. Peering in, looking at signals. 1-2 count again to Talenko. Here comes the pitch from Holloway. Just above the zone. Ball 2. Phil Natero is calling the strike zone. That's strike zone. He puts his eyes at the top of the zone. If it's above his eyes, it's a ball high. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Right down meridian, strike 3 called, and there are 2 out. Next batter going to step in. They're going to bat for the second time. Hudson Gutwein. Gutwein has played in 15 of the 16 games. He's batting .432, .609 on base percentage. Gutwein, a right-handed batter. He leads the team with 2 home runs, and they all came in the same game. Pitch comes in, outside, ball 1. Rensselaer Central. 3 players hit homers. Hudson Gutwein hit 2. Lucas Gerke hit 1, and Jackson Kane hit 1. Here comes the pitch. Going to foul one right side. Is it going to be playable? Might be. Mollenkoff, the catcher, chases it till he couldn't find any more space. The fence right there. The count goes 1-1 to Gutwein. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gutwein going to step back in. Gutwein entering this game with 64 plate appearances, 44 at-bats. He's got 19 hits, leads the Knights. Out of the set, here comes a pitch. Breaking pitch. High for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, now the set, he'll check second base. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High for ball 3, just above the helmets in that right-handed batter's box for Gutwein. 3-1 count. Might be the best pitch he'll see in this at-bat. He's got 9 singles, 8 doubles, and the 2 home runs. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing. It's a called strike. Count goes full at 3-2. Hudson Gutwein has 17 RBI on the season. He's got a duck on the pond at second, plus an additional runner at first base. Out of set is a 3-2. Swing and a miss. The Knights are retired. They leave 2 on base. Knights come up with no runs in the top of the second. And then we'll mention the Knights going to play defensively, and we'll go to the bottom of the second inning after 1.5. Caston 1, Central Catholic 0. And we'll mention this game is in part being brought to you by Discount Copies. Discount Copies. They are conveniently located at the west edge of Noblesville, Indiana, 46062. They're just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32. That's along State Road 32, Noblesville. At Discount Copies, they provide set-up services where you can turn your artwork into things such as note cards, notepads, prints, and calendars. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards. Posters and oversized printing are also available. And if you're planning a wedding, they can print all of your necessary needs. You can reach Discount Copies by phone, 317-773-8783. Again, that's 317-773-8783. Or by Gmail at Discount Copies, the number 96 at gmail.com. That's Discount Copies, the number 96 at gmail.com. He's going to throw one down second base. Knights on the diamond. Ethan Miller doing the catching. Where's number 29? As you know, Jonah Gerke, 14, doing the pitching. First base, number 10, Lucas Gerke. Second base, Alex Schumer, number 12. Shortstop, Mikey Stapleton, number 11. Third base, tonight it's Hudson Gutwein, number 9. Left field, 41, Brendan Van Kirk. Center field, 25, Vince Talenko. And in right field, number 5, Colton Minnick. Pitch comes in, ball high in the batter's box. For Caston is the 6-hitter, number 22, Parker Zimpelman, playing third base. Out of wind, here comes the pitch. Outside edge, strike called. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peering over the glove, 1 foot on the rubber, 1 foot off. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Might have been a foul tip in the glove, caught by Miller. Count goes 1-2. Peering in, looking at signals. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Short hops the glove. Miller, pretty good block. Laterally picks it up to his right. Count goes 2-2. Batter's number is 2-2. First batter, bottom of the second inning. Here comes the pitch. Outside edge, strike called, and he'll walk back to the dugout, and there's 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Next batter going to step in. He wears number 21. 7-hitter. That's Tucker Wolliver. Tucker Wolliver plays second base for Coach Mollenkoff. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Windy day, but what a beautiful day. Blue sky. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. He'll pop one up. Is it playable? And give it a look there. That's Ethan Miller. He'll make the catch. How'd he go back behind his back right there? Tell you what, that wind is whipping. And Ethan Miller made a good play there in foul territory, not too far from the Knights dugout. So stepping in with 2 outs. It's going to be the 8-hitter, number 15, London Hurd. He's the designated hitter. He is batting in place of defensive player, left fielder number 3, Drew McGrew. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Left-handed batter. Steps back in. It's London Hurd, the DH. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Working quick on the diamond here tonight. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Pitch comes in, strike called. He thought he might swing. He decided not to. Just a first pitch strike. Count goes 2-1. Peering in. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. So 8 hitter number 15, London Hurd. London Hurd. Left-handed batter. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. Pretty good eyesight right there at the plate. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So London Hurd going to jog to first base. He is the DH for the Caston Comets. Stepping in. 9 hitter. Number 9, Lane Halterman. Halterman in the ballgame, playing right field. Right-handed batter. So London Hurd going to get a modest lead there at first base. Out of the set, Gerke. Here comes the pitch. Just above the zone, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Peering in, looking at signals. Jonah Gerke out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Right across the dish, top of the zone. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peering in, out of the stretch. Now the set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Right across the dish, strike called. Snap throw to first base by Miller. Back safely is London Hurd. Sun coming out from behind the clouds. Glistening the diamond right now. Looks beautiful. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peering in. Now out of the set, Jonah Gerke. Lane Halterman checks his swing. And they're not going to ask. So it's a ball. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Checking the wristband. They're working the digit system here at Caston. Working out of the stretch. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch from Gerke. Strike called. And he's going to go down looking. And the Knights get out of the inning. Comets leave 1 aboard. They come up with no runs. We'll go to the top of the 3rd after 2 innings. Caston Comets 1. Central Catholic Knights 0. And they're working right there. I think we're going to try to talk with Jason. Say what, Jason, you got a minute? Jason Hurd, you've got 2 boys on the team, and you got your next boy sitting to your left.
Well, he's my coworker. He's our scorekeeper, but he's not my
He's not your son. He's irreplaceable, you're saying.
That is true. Yes, irreplaceable.
I tell you what, he does a heck of a job. I tell you what, your sons, they are pretty good-sized young men. You are also. Where did you go to high school?
I went right here at Caston. My wife and I both did. Yep.
So you like it here pretty well.
Yep. Raised, both of us graduated from Caston, 95 and 96. We went away to college, came back here, raised our family, and wouldn't have it any other way.
That is excellent. How far away do you live from the school?
About 7 miles.
That's not bad. I tell you what, I appreciate meeting you.
Yeah, likewise. Great to meet you.
I tell you what, you know quite a bit, and we'll talk again.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is Jason Hurd. His 2 sons playing on the diamond. We'll mention no. Landon Hurd just threw a walk in that half. Time Alex Silver. Alex Silver. 16. The second baseman, number 12, Alex Schubert. Outside of ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Schubert entering this game has 63 plate appearances, 48 at bats. 1 high above the zone, ball 2. Schubert has 14 hits on the season. 10 are singles, 4 are doubles. Ball 3. Pretty good highlight at the plate. See that deserves the coach coordinate. Outside ball 4. Schubert hit the base on ball. 5 hits down. Sliding middle. The first baseman. There. So we were off the air there just for a second. I think we're back on. Yeah, I can have that. Yeah, my wife's calling me to let me know we were off the air. I unplugged myself. That happens once in a while, but I got to talk with you. That was more important. So she's calling right now, and I don't know if we can probably hear her now. So stepping back in, Lucas Gerke. Lucas Gerke with an apparatus on that lower right ankle area for foul tips. Ball comes in low. Ball 2. Count goes 2-1 to Lucas Gerke. Stepping back in, left-handed batter, Schumer. Alex Schumer drew a walk. He's at first base. Here's the pitch. Inside and tight. Ball 3. Count goes 3-1. So working right there. Just step back in. Peering in, looking at signals out of stretch. Eli Holloway. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on and take a full cut at it. It's going to be foul territory. The third base side. It's going to whirl the wind. And the ball hits the surface. That's a difficult catch to make. Parker Zeppelman gave it a good effort. Foul territory outside third base. So I think she's saying yes. She can hear us now. That's good because I unplugged myself accidentally. So working from a stretch, now the set. Here comes a 3-2 pitch to Gerke. Strike 3. They're going to strike him out. So he'll walk back to the dugout and strike out looking. And the Knights have 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Next batter going to step in for the Knights, number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Mikey Stapleton, right-handed batter. Working out a stretch. Look over at first base, out of stretch. Eli Holloway. Here comes the pitch. He'll take it the other way. You go to right field. It's going to try to drop in there, and it will. Difficult catch to make coming in. That was Lane Halterman, picked up by center fielder Logan Mollenkoff. And the Knights have 2 on base. So Mikey Stapleton gets a base hit to right field. And at second base is Alex Schumer. So next batter to line up for the Knights is going to be number 3, Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane has played in all 16 games. He's got a .354 batting average in that right-handed batter's box. On-base percentage of .475, 60. Plate appearances, 48 at-bats. Right-handed batter, out of set. Here comes a pitch from Holloway. Swung on as a breaking pitch. He pulls it foul. On the ground, ends up near the bullpen area. No balls, 1 strike to Kane. Jackson Kane has 17 hits on the season, 11 singles, 5 doubles, and 1 home run. As mentioned, that home run came at Rensselaer Central. Going to be a ground ball between shortstop and third base. A base hit to left field, picked up there by Drew McGrew. Coach Bourdonnais holds up the runner, holds up Schumer at third base. Bases are now all occupied by the Knights. There's one out. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Van Kirk going to step in. He's batting .419 on the season. He's played in 14 of the 16 games. .537 on base percentage. 41 plate appearances, 31 at-bats. He's got 13 hits. 12 are singles. 1 is a double. Bases loaded for the Knights. 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning. Here comes the pitch. Right down meridian, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. Brennan Van Kirk. He'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, Eli Holloway. Here comes the pitch. Short off the glove. Difficult play there. Gavin Mollenkoff. It's going to be a wild pitch. They're going to track down the baseball. 2 runs are going to score for the Knights. Alex Schumer. And then the 2nd run scored by Mikey Stapleton. It's a wild pitch, and it was difficult to find for Mollenkoff. They got to tell him right away where it's at. They got to point at it. You got to point at it. Hard for the catcher to know where that ball went. So stepping back in, Brennan Van Kirk. Runner at 3rd base is Jackson Kane. Pitch comes in high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Coach Mollenkoff going to pull his infield in about medium depth on the dirt. Peering in, looking at signals. Eli Holloway out of the set. Here comes the 2-1. Strike called. Brennan Van Kirk. Van Kirk, a pretty tall gentleman. Taller strike zone. Found out there. 2-2 count. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of set, Eli Holloway. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. Dribbler back to the backstop. So Phil Notero, we found out he's a lefty. Phil Notero, left-handed umpire. You know he's played. You know it. He has done a fine job. And they got another friend named Newbie that has moved to Florida. Here comes the pitch. Short hops the glove, Mollenkoff, and coming in from 3rd base, standing up, is Jackson Kane. So the bases are now empty. Knights have 3 runs in here in the top of the 3rd inning. Brennan Van Kirk batting. He's got a full count. Knights have 1 out on them. On deck is Jonah Gerke. Working from the windup, here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. 3rd base. Parker Zippelman throws across the diamond. Couldn't get the play. He bobbled the initial stop there at 3rd base. By the time he threw it, safe at 1st base is Van Kirk. So next batter going to step in. 7-hitter, number 14, Jonah Gerke. Jonah Gerke doing the pitching for the Knights. Left-handed batter. Jonah Gerke steps in. He's played in 11 games. This is number 12. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Eli Holloway peering in, looking at signals from catcher Gavin Mollenkoff. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Above the zone, ball 2. So Brennan Van Kirk getting a pretty good secondary lead there. Let's see if he's on his horse on this one. 2 balls, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss by Jonah Gerke. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Colton Minnick is on deck for the Knights. We're going to have a stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Knights batting in the top of the 3rd inning. Knights have 3 runs here in the 3rd. Peering in, looking at signals. Eli Holloway checks 1st base out of the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Inside a breaking pitch. Ball 3. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jonah Gerke steps back in, left-handed batter. Out of the set, here's the 3-2. High for ball 4. So the Knights will put 2 on base. Jonah Gerke will be at first base. And Brennan Van Kirk at second. Next batter going to step in for the Knights. Number 5, right fielder, Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick on the season. He's played in 13 of the 16 games. He's batting .261 in that right-handed batter's box. .414 on base percentage. Plate appearances, he has 31, 23 at-bats. 6 hits. He has 3 RBI. He'll foul the first one back out of play. Colton Minnick, no balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and second, just 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning. It's a 3-1 ball game here at Caston. How the set, you'll check second. Here's the pitch. Pitch comes in, right across the dish, strike called. Count goes 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Peering in, looking at signals, Eli Holloway. Long pier, checks second base. Now the set position. Here comes the 0-2 to Minnick. High and outside on a breaking pitch. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He'll step back in. Runners at first and second base. Steps in the rubber, peers in, looks at signals. From Gavin Mollenkoff, out of the set position. Eli Holloway, here comes the 1-2 pitch. Inside edge, going to strike him out. They're going to set him down looking, and there are 2 out here in the top of the 3rd. So next batter going to step in for the Knights. Going to be number 33. 33, Gilkey. It's going to be DJ Gilkey batting here for the 9th spot for Vince Talenko. So DJ Gilkey going to step in. A pinch hit in the 9th spot, Vince Talenko, center fielder. So left-handed batter, DJ Gilkey, a member of the senior class. Pretty good lead there at first base. Not being held on is Jonah Gerke. Pitch comes in, strike called. Runners at first and second base. At second is Brennan Van Kirk. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of stretch, now the set. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Gilkey. Low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. He'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Eli Holloway. Out of the set position, check second. Here comes the pitch. The foul 1 back, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning. Knights have 3 runs in here in the 3rd. 2 aboard. Out of the set, here comes the 1-2 pitch. High above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He'll adjust that landing area again right there with the foot. Out of set, here comes the pitch, the 2-2. Above the zone, ball 3. DJ Gilkey takes the count to full. Full count. 2 outs. Top of the 3rd. Runners will be on the move. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, he'll foul it back out of play. So the base runners jog back to their respective bases. Van Kirk back to second. And Jonah Gerke back to first. So 3-2 count once again to DJ Gilkey. Out of set, Eli Holloway. Here it comes. Inside a ball. Ball 4. So DJ Gilkey runs the jog down to first base. The Knights have 3 aboard. Next batter in the lineup. Going to step in. 3rd time, Hudson Gutwein. Hudson Gutwein, as mentioned, .432 batting average in 15 games. He did miss 1 game. He was under the weather. Out of set, first pitch from Holloway to Gutwein. He's going to drive one to left field. As that goes center field, hard to tell here. Backing him up, making the catch. In center field is Logan Mollenkoff. And the Knights leave 3 on base. So the Knights pick up 3 runs. There's 1 error committed in the half inning. And we'll mention at the end of 2.5, Knights 3, Comets 1. And again, we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. Real estate IQ. She has a real estate IQ that will work for the benefit of you. Lisa specializes in residential and corporate relocations. She has a vast knowledge with more than 25 years of question answering experience. Let Lisa look or let Lisa list. Each home is precious. That's Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. Sheets Company. That's in Indianapolis. Highly recommended. She's a highly recommended real estate agent and real estate broker. To contact Lisa Stokes Bear by phone or by text message, you can reach her at 317-513-4086. Again, her number is 317-513-4086. So the Castons going to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Playing a rocky and roll music right here. And the Caston Comets going to send down bullpen activity. And the Knights going to have another game tomorrow. It'll be Attica. The Red Ramblers will be at Central Catholic. That's going to be a game that was made up before it needed to be made up. But that game was supposed to happen a week from tomorrow. But the Attica needed that date a week from tomorrow to play a conference game makeup from a rain out. Coach Bourdonnais says no problem. How about the 7th? So they'll play tomorrow. 6 o'clock ball game. So stepping in. Second time at the plate, Logan Mollenkoff. Mollenkoff, where's number 4, center fielder? He's batting .444 and on base of .615. First pitch comes in high, ball 1. Logan Mollenkoff in 18 games. He's played in all 18. .444. Here comes the pitch. Inside low, ball 2. So Logan Mollenkoff, he's been to the plate 78 times, 54 at bats. Here comes the pitch. Strike called right there at the top of the zone. Trying to keep the count, reachable for the pitcher and the catcher. Here comes the wind. Here comes the 2-1. Outside a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Mollenkoff leads the team. I take that back. He's second place on the team with total hits. He has 24. 20 are singles. Take a cut at that one. Swing and a miss. Count goes full at 3-2. Mollenkoff has 20 singles, 3 doubles, and 1 triple. 24 hits on the season. Pitch comes in outside, ball 4. So we'll slide the bat aside. He'll jog down to first base. So the Comets have 1 aboard with nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Next batter going to step in, 2-hitter number 8, Eli Holloway. Eli Holloway's played in all 18 games. He's batting .458 in that right-handed batter's box, .590 on base percentage. Out of set, Gerke. Pitch comes in outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Eli Holloway, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Signals given. He'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Jonah Gerke. Pretty good lead there at first base for Mollenkoff. Outside a ball. Logan Mollenkoff plays center field. Just a freshman. Peering in, looking at signals. Jonah Gerke out of the set. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Foul back, out of play. Eli Holloway. Eli Holloway leads the team with 27 hits on the season. 19 are singles. 8 are doubles. He's got 15 RBI. But we'll mention number 5, Gavin Mollenkoff leads the team in RBI with 22. Pickoff move, first base, back safely is Logan Mollenkoff. 2 balls, 1 strike. Eli Holloway, right-handed batter. Pretty good lead there again for Logan Mollenkoff. Out of the set, here comes, he's taking off for second base. Pitch is called a strike. He'll be safe at second as he slides in. Late tag there by Schumer. And they have a runner in scoring position. So Logan Mollenkoff is now at second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Eli Holloway. Out of the set. Jonah Gerke checks second. Here comes a 2-2. High and away with a breaking pitch. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Caston batting in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Out of the set. Here comes the 3-2. Swung on. He'll drive one to left field. Fair ball just inside the foul line. Picked up there in left field by Brennan Van Kirk. Coming in to score from second base is number 4, Logan Mollenkoff. It's now a 3-2 ball game. Ending up at second base. Ended up at second base is Eli Holloway. Holloway going to get credit for a double and an RBI. Stepping in, 3-hitter, number 5, Gavin Mollenkoff, the catcher. First pitch above the zone, ball 1. Gavin Mollenkoff, he's batting .260. He has a on-base percentage of .474. He's played in all 18 games, 76 plate appearances, 50 at-bats. I think a ground ball shortstop. Mikey Stapleton backhands it. It veers off the glove, and he can't pick it up in time to throw it to first base. It was a shot. Got to be a base hit. Base hit off the hot bat right there, Gavin Mollenkoff. So runners at first and second base. Stepping in, we're going to see the 4-hitter, number 24, Noah Hurd. He plays first base for the Comets. Right-handed batter. We're going to have a stretch, now the set. Check second base, first pitch to Hurd. Breaking pitch across the dish, strike called. No balls, 1 strike, right-handed batter. Noah Hurd. He's wearing the Michael Jordan cleats. I like those, Chicago. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, he'll go ground ball, foul, right side. Knights have some bullpen activity. That's Tatum Adriano getting loose over there. He's got a protector, and that's a good thing. So he's getting loose over there. And peering in, looking at signals, Jonah Gerke. No balls, 2 strikes to Noah Hurd. Take a full cut. Going up top, getting it at the pitcher's rubber. Throws the second. Mikey Stapleton couldn't hold it. So they try to get the force out at second base. And the Knights commit another error. So 3 on base for the Comets. Still nobody out. That ball was hit right back to Jonah Gerke. He threw it to second base, and Mikey couldn't hold it. And I'm safe at second on a fielder's choice. So the Knights going to walk out. Coach Bourdonnais going to talk with his infield. And we'll mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Camino and Company. Camino and Company, they're in downtown Noblesville, right off the square on the north side. Camino and Company is a mobile flower shop brought to you by local flower farmers and providers, small business partners, and the CNC founders. Their mascot is a 1984 El Camino SS, which is owned by B.E. Witham. B.E. Witham is the grandpa of Carly Witham Elbrett. Carly is the owner of Camino and Company. You can reach them online at camino-and-company.com. And they are now booking 2025 brides. If you need flowers, she'll help you. Stepping in, number 11, Carson Harness. Carson plays shortstop. First pitch above the zone, ball 1. Carson Harness has played in all 18 games, batting .245, .437 on base. He's been to the plate 72 times, 53 at-bats. Here comes the pitch. He'll take a drive to left field. It's going to back up Van Kirk, and it's going to be dropped right in front of the fence. Drops right in front of the fence, going to score 2. And it's going to be a 2 RBI single off the bat of Carson Harness. And coming in to score was Gavin Mollenkoff and number 8, Eli Holloway. So now it's a 4-3 ball game. Comets also have 3 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So stepping in, number 6 hitter, number 22, Parker Zimpelman, 3rd baseman. 2 aboard, 1st and 2nd. Pitch comes in above zone, ball 1. Still nobody out. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 2 aboard, 1st and 2nd for the Comets. Out of the set, Jonah Gerke. He'll check second base. Here comes the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. For Zimpelman, count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-handed batter. Parker Zimpelman out of the set. Jonah Gerke. He'll check second. Here comes the pitch. Good block. Breaking pitch. Good block by Ethan Miller. Thought about a throw to third base. Decided not to. By that time, safe at third base. And Caston Comets have 2 aboard, now 2nd and 3rd base. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jonah Gerke back in the rubber, peering in, looking at signals from Ethan Miller. Long peer. Now out of the set. The batter is Parker Zimpelman. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing, ball's upstairs. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Working down the bullpen for the Knights. Tatum Adriano, he's a freshman. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Going to be hit by pitch. So Gerke's going to get a hit by pitch, and jogging down to first base is number 22, Parker Zimpelman. And there are 3 guys on base. And Coach Bourdonnais going to walk out once again. We'll talk with his infield. He's going to motion down to the bullpen, and we're going to see Tatum Adriano, freshman. He wears number 28, right-handed pitcher. We'll also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment, family owned and operated since 1955. They've got tractors, combines, corn pickers, lawn mowers, etc. Genuine John Deere equipment, new and used equipment available. Extraordinarily the best in the business. Reynolds. Visit them at their Atlanta, Indiana location. That's on US 31 at 1451 East, 276th Street, Atlanta, Indiana. They're just 2 miles to the south of the Tipton-Hamilton County line. And we'll also mention they have 5 Indiana locations. 5 locations. And you can reach them at either location by dialing 800-333-6947. That's 800-333-6947. Or at their Atlanta location, you can reach them by dialing 317-758-4116. So the Knights now pitching for the Knights. Tatum Adriano. Adriano's a right-handed pitcher. We'll mention Adriano on the season has 18 innings under his belt. This is appearance number 5. He had started 4 games. This is his first non-start. He's faced 77 batters. He's thrown 228 pitches. He's got a win-loss ratio of no wins, 2 losses. He's got 1 save and 1 save attempt. He's given up 7 hits, 13 runs. 1 of those runs were earned. He's walked 9, struck out 11. 5 of those strikeouts went down looking, and he's hit 4 batters along the way. Stepping into bat for Caston. Number 21, Tucker Wolliver. Out of set. Bases loaded. First pitch from Adriano. Right down meridian. Strike called with a fastball. Tatum Adriano, he's a good pitcher. He's got some heat. He's a third baseman by heart. So he's got the gun. Out of set. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, ground ball, second base. Fielded by Schumer. They go 4, 6, and couldn't get to 3. So a run's going to score. It's going to be a fielder's choice. And off the bat, Tucker Wolver picks up an RBI, and he knocks in number 24, Noah Hurd. So Caston Comets have 4 in here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now batting with 1 out. Number 15, London Hurd. London Hurd is the DH for the Caston Comets. Out of set, Adriano. First pitch taken for a strike. 15, London Hurd. London Hurd has played in 13 of the 18 games. He's batting .308, .394 on base percentage. Here comes a pitch. Going to pop one up, foul, out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to London. London Hurd. London Hurd going to step back in. Just a freshman. So left-handed batter, designated hitter, freshman athlete. We're going to have a stretch, now the set. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, he'll foul this one. Off the top of the fence and out of play. Left side. So let's stay in that box again with the 0-2 count. London Hurd, 15. He's got 8 hits, 7 are singles. He has 1 double. He has 7 RBI. He has 3 ducks on the pond. 2. Going to be a ground ball. Going to get through the gap there at second and first base. Goes into right field. Colton Minnick tosses it back in, hits the cutoff. And it's going to be an RBI single off the bat of London Hurd. Coming in to score is number 11, Carson Harness. So 5 runs in here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for Caston. Runners at first and third base for the Comets. 1 out. Right-handed batter stepping in, Lane Halterman. Right fielder, out of set. Here comes a pitch from Adriano. Inside a ball. Lane Halterman. He's played in 18 games, batting .225 on base percentage of .385. 52 plate appearances, 40 at-bats. He has 9 hits. Pitch comes in, strike called. Those 9 hits are all singles. Runners at first and third base. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 1 out. Here comes a pitch. Above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Vince Talenko playing him to pull the baseball in center field. Peering in, looking at signals. Tatum Adriano out of the set. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Low and inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Knights going to need some pitching this week. Knights have 6 games. This weekend is the Catholic Classic. Here comes a pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 3-2. Full count to the 9-hitter, number 9, Lane Halterman. Peering in, looking at signals. Tatum Adriano out of the set. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Going to pop one foul, right side. We're going to go straight back. So we'll stay in the box again with that 3-2 count. Lane Halterman. Lane Halterman. 9 RBI. He scored 11 runs on his own. He's got 8 base on balls, and he'll swing and miss. And there are 2 out here in the bottom of the third. Next batter going to step in. Number 4, Logan Mollenkoff. Logan Mollenkoff, freshman athlete. All 18 games has played. 444 batting average, 615 on base. Runners at first and third base for the Comets. First pitch, strike, fastball right down meridian. No balls, 1 strike. Center fielder, Logan Mollenkoff. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Low for ball 2. And a good block there by Ethan Miller. Saves a run. 1 ball, 1 strike to Logan Mollenkoff. 2 out here, the bottom of the third inning. 5 runs in for the Comets. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dad right down there, third base coach, head coach for the Caston Comets, Blake Mollenkoff. Out of the set, here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He'll go down swinging. The Knights get out of the jam. Knights give up 5 runs, the bottom of the third. And the Knights are going to bat in the top of the 4th inning. At the end of 3, Comets 6, Knights 3. And we'll also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by McCormick Printing Impressions. Before we dive back into action, we want to spotlight a business that's been printing success in our community for 50 incredible years. That's McCormick Printing Impressions. From business cards to banners, T-shirts to office supplies, MPI is your local full-service print shop delivering quality, great service, and creativity in every project. Family-owned and operated for 2 generations. That's MPI. MPI knows that your first impression matters, so they make sure it's a good one. Next time you need something printed with perfection, turn to MPI, because at McCormick Printing Impressions, they don't just print. They help you make your best impression. That's McCormick Printing. They're right there in Tipton. You can reach them by phone at 765-675-9556. So they're getting ready to throw one down. New pitcher on the pitcher's rubber for Caston is number 24, Noah Hurd. Noah Hurd going to do the pitching. We'll mention he's got a win-loss record of 3 wins, no losses. This is appearance number 8. And he has started 1 game. He's got 15 innings under his belt. He's given up 31 hits, 22 runs. 18 of those runs were earned. He's walked 12, and he struck out 12. He's faced 87 batters. He's thrown 310 pitches. Noah Hurd, the new pitcher for the Caston Comets. You know who's pitching, I'm sure. You've seen him at home, probably. So stepping in, left-handed batter, Alex Schumer. Peering in over the glove, here comes the first pitch from Noah Hurd. Strike called, outside half, thigh high. So he'll peer in again, look at signals. Here comes the wind and the 0-1 pitch to Schumer. Schumer's going to pop one up, going to go to center field. It's going to be short, going to be caught by the center fielder, and the ball came loose Center fielder and right fielder kind of bumped together. That was Logan Mollenkoff and Drew McGrew. And safe at first base, reaching on air, is number 12, Alex Schumer. So runner at first base, Knight's going to step in. It's going to be number 10, Lucas Gerke. Lucas Gerke steps in, left-handed batter. Working out a stretch, now the set. First pitch to Gerke. Low for ball one. Lucas Gerke batting .357. He's played in all 16 games. .550 on base percentage. 60 plate appearances, 42 at-bats. Here comes a pitch outside and low, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. It's a 6-3 ball game. After 3, Caston in front. We're at the top of the 4th. 1 runner on, nobody out. Now the set. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Step back in, tap the plate. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Noah Hurd. Here comes the pitch. Low for ball 4. So 2 aboard for the Knights. They're going to call a timeout. And it's going to be Gavin Mollenkoff going out talking with Noah Hurd. I should say London Hurd. So the DH has gone away, and London Hurd entering the game as the pitcher. Stepping into the rubber, peering in, looking at signals. Mikey Stapleton, the batter for the Knights. 2 aboard, first and second. Out of sad, here comes a pitch. Low for a ball. Good block there by Mollenkoff. Mikey Stapleton, he's played in all 16 games, batting .333. On base percentage of .419. Peering in, looking at signals. Now out of the set position. Check second base. Here's the 1-0. Foul ball back to the screen. Count goes 1-1 to Stapleton. So looking at signals, Coach Bourdonnais. Noah Hurd, senior athlete, a pitcher and an infielder, started this game as the DH. Now doing the pitching. Out of the set, here comes the 1-1. Foul ball back to the screen. He started first? My bad. Oh, that's right. London. I got the numbers right, different on both of them. Hard to do, ain't it? So London wears 15. Okay. Out of the set, here comes the 1-2 pitch to Stapleton. He'll take a shot down the first baseline. It tails into foul ball. It was going to be foul. Goes near the bullpen area. And Cooper Renback going to chase it down. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Noah Hurd doing the pitching. And Jason, his dad, tells me he came over from first base. Out of the set, Noah Hurd checks second base. Here's the 1-2 again. The foul ball out in front of the plate. So he hit the baseball, came back up, got him. Might have got him in a bad spot. Mikey Stapleton, pretty darn good football player for the Knights. Jackson Kane on deck. Jackson's going to play linebacker at DePaul next year. You can look at him and tell that he probably will. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mikey Stapleton going to step back in. Right-handed batter's box. Mikey Stapleton, 16 hits on the season. 13 are singles, 3 are doubles. He's got 15 RBI. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. High and tight. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mikey Stapleton, the 4-hitter. Seems like he don't get the good pitches. Out of the set. Checks second base. Here comes the 2-2. High and above the zone. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Noah Hurd is bringing the fastball. Peering in, looking at signals. Gavin Mollenkoff, the catcher. Out of set. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Mikey. Above the zone, ball 4. So runners at first, second, and third base for the Knights. Nobody out. Top of the 4th inning. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 3, Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane, the DH, batting in the 5 spot. Jackson's played in all 16 games, batting .354, .475 on base percentage. Jackson Kane has 17 hits. He has 14 RBI. Knights have bases loaded, nobody out. Top of the 4th. First pitch from Hurd. Strike called. Count goes 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. He'll step back in. Right-handed batter, kind of hugging the plate a little bit. Out of set. Noah Hurd checks third. Here's the pitch. Short hops the glove there at the catcher's glove. Gavin Mollenkoff, a good play. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Hurd out of the set position. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on, ground ball between shortstop and third base. Jackson's going to get a single. They're going to hold up the second runner. Gerke's going to be held up at third base. Bases will remain loaded. Jackson's going to get credit for a single and an RBI. Coming in to score from third base is Alex Schumer. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Van Kirk has been forced to track down a couple of long balls in the corner there, one up against the wall. He's been busy in left field. Out of set, right-handed batter, Brennan Van Kirk. Breaking pitch in there for a strike, well placed. Count goes 0-1. Van Kirk batting .419. He's played in 14 of the previous 16 games. This is number 17. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Hurd out of set position. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still nobody out. Top of the 4th inning. 6-4 ball game. Comets in front. Working out a stretch, now the set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch finishes above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Brennan Van Kirk, a little bit of an open stance on the instep. Right-handed batter. Out of set. Right-handed pitcher, Noah Hurd. Here's the 2-1. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Brennan Van Kirk entered the game with 41 plate appearances, 31 at-bats, 13 hits, 13 RBI. Out of set, here comes the 3-1 pitch. Low for ball 4. And Knights are going to be forced in a run here. Coming across the plate there is number 10, Lucas Gerke. Knights have bases loaded. And drawing a walk there is 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Stepping into bat. Going to bat in the 7th spot. Going to be number 28, Jonah Gerke. Jonah Gerke now the pitcher. Excuse me. Tatum Adriano now the pitcher. Now the batters in the batter's box. First pitch comes in high above the zone, ball 1. So we'll step back in. Tatum Adriano peering in, looking at signals. Out of stretch, now the set. Noah Hurd, here's the pitch. I'm going to foul this one back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looking at signals, bases loaded for the Knights. Nobody out. Right-handed batter, Tatum Adriano. Out of set, Noah Hurd. Let's look at third base. Here's the pitch. Pitch comes in, must have been just outside. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Steps back in. Knights have 3 runners aboard, nobody out. Out of set. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Adriano. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Right-handed freshman batter, Tatum Adriano. Out of set. Noah Hurd, and time is called. Time is granted. Step back in. We're going to have a set. Noah Hurd. Here comes the pitch. High above the zone. Ball 3. 3-2 count. 3-2 count. Runners will be on the move. Out of the set. Noah Hurd. Here comes the payoff. Swung on, foul one. Right side might be playable. Going to give it an effort, and it's going to go uncaught there in the Knights dugout. So the count remains 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tatum Adriano now doing the pitching for the Knights. 3-2 count, bases loaded, nobody out. Top of the 4th, 6-5 contest. Comets in front. Here comes the pitch. Gonna be a ground ball, shortstop. Gonna be fielded there by Harness. The throw across the diamond, get the put out. Knights score a run. They get the put out. Over at first base now is London Hurd. And the Knights tie the game at 6.
The right fielder, number 5.
So runners at second and third base for the Knights. Stepping in, the 8-hitter, number 5, Colton Minnick. Colton playing right field in today's ball game. Working out a stretch, now the set. Noah Hurd. Here comes the pitch. Off-speed pitch, he's going to poke one. It's going to be right there, shortstop, back of the lip of the grass. And going to be caught there by Carson Harness. So 2 batted balls consecutive and 2 outs. Comets have to play defensively. 2 outs on the Knights. Runners on second and third base. Next batter going to step in for the Knights. It'll be DJ Gilkey. Gilkey, now the center fielder for the Knights. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 6-6 ball game. Lights are on here at Caston Comet High School. Here comes the pitch. High above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Peering in, looking at the signals, working out a windup. Noah Hurd. Runners at second and third base for the Knights. Here comes the pitch. Above the zone, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. First base is open. On deck is Hudson Gutwein. Here comes a wind and the 3-0 pitch. Right down meridian, strike called. 3 balls, 1 strike. Stepping back in, DJ Gilkey. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So bases are loaded as DJ Gilkey draws a walk. Stepping back in, Hudson Gutwein, leadoff batter in today's ball game. I believe he's batting for the 4th time. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Noah Hurd. Will be hit by pitch. So Gutwein is going to go to first base. He's going to pull in a run from third base. It's going to be Jackson Kane scoring the run. And Hudson Gutwine has now been hit by pitch 6 times on the season. Lucas Gerke has been hit 8 times. So Alex Schumer is going to step in. He's a 2-hitter for the Knights. Plays second base in this ball game. He wears number 12. So bases loaded, 2 out. Top of the 4th inning. 7-6 contest. Knights have 4 in here in the 4th inning. First pitch, outside edge, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. Noah Hurd looking over the glove, looking at signals. Gavin Mollenkoff, the catcher. How the windup. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch finishes inside and low. I'm going to say, I'm not sure here. Not sure here. I'm not sure if he called a balk. I'm going to see if it was hit by pitch. Schumer took off for first base like he was hit by pitch. Schumer's the type of guy, he's about as true a young man as I've ever met on a Knights team. And his brother, Ryan, is the same way. So Coach Blake Mollenkoff wants to know, was that a hit by pitch? That was only the second pitch to Schumer. So if that's the case, then you're going to score a run. And it's now an 8-6 contest, 2 outs, Knights batting. In the top of the 4th, bases loaded, stepping in, Lucas Gerke, the 3-hitter. Working out the windup, Noah Hurd. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Right down meridian, strike called. Lucas Gerke has played in all 16 games, batting .357, .550 on base percentage. Working out the windup, here comes the pitch. High and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gerke, 60 plate appearances entering today's ball game. 42 at-bats. He's a left-handed batter facing the righty, Noah Hurd. Here comes the wind and the 1-1 pitch. Strike call. That's a good breaking pitch. Well placed by Noah. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peering in, looking at signals. Now out of the windup, here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul ball, back out of play. Lucas Gerke has 15 hits on the season. 11 are singles, 3 are doubles. He has 1 home run at Rensselaer Central. He went the other way with it. Left center field for the left-handed batter. So Mollenkoff had some words with Noah, and he's now back behind the dish. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Senior pitcher, senior batter. Here comes the wind from Noah Hurd. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on. You're going to take it to left field. We're going to go foul. Going to take it left side. Out of play. They'll stay in the box with a 1-2 count. Lucas Gerke, 15 RBI on the season. Lucas has scored 23 runs. Hudson Gutwine, only guy in front of him with 31 runs scored. Out of set, here comes the windup. Going to foul another one. Left side, out of play. So he'll stay in the box, a 1-2 count. 2 outs. Might see that breaking pitch from Noah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the wind and the 1-2 again. Breaking pitch misses low. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Noah Hurd peering over the glove. Here comes the 2-2 to Gerke. Swung on, swing and a miss. And Gerke is out on strikes. So the Knights pick up 5 runs here in the top of the 4th. And right now, after 3.5 innings, Knights 8, Comets 6. And again, we do thank you for tuning in, and we'll mention today's ball game is in part being brought to you by FritzInFishers.com. That's Fritz in Fishers and Fritz in Noblesville. They are celebrating 43 years in the car business. That's in the heart of the Nickel Plate District. They have late model cars and trucks. Each vehicle pre-delivery inspection. They have 2 Hamilton County locations. One is in Fishers at 8599 East 116th Street. You can dial them up there. Their dealership in Fishers, Indiana. That's 317-842-2228. And then their dealership in Noblesville. That's between Noblesville and Westfield, right there on highway, I should say, on State Road 32. And right there, it's right there at Mill Creek Road. They're going to put a roundabout in there eventually. And when they do, it's going to be good for a lot of folks. And we'll also mention in Noblesville, Fritz in Fishers. That's 317-773-2232. Just go to FritzInFishers.com. And you can check them out right there. You can relax on your own couch and look online. Find that car or truck you've been looking for. Stepping into bat for Caston. 2-hitter, number 8, Eli Holloway. Eli Holloway playing shortstop for the Caston Comets. First pitch, high and away. Going to be a ball 1 from Tatum Adriano. So peering in, looking at signals. Out of the windup, Tatum Adriano. Second pitch to Holloway. Swung on, foul ball up against the screen, just past the dugout. Third base side. That was a rocket. So Eli Holloway steps back in. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Adriano. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Eli Holloway, he got aboard last time with a double. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Adriano. High, well above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Adriano and Holloway, about the same type of pitcher. Here comes a pitch. High above the zone, ball 3. 3-2 count to Holloway. He'll step back in. He batted .458. He's played in all 18 games. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, you're going to pop one. Going to go shallow center field. Going to drop in a base hit. Eli Holloway gets himself aboard again. So next batter going to step in. Going to be the 3-hitter, number 5, Gavin Mollenkoff. Gavin Mollenkoff. He's played in all 18 games. .260 batting average, on base percentage of .474. 76 plate appearances. 50 at bats. He's a patient hitter. Right-handed batter out of set. Tatum Adriano. First pitch, high and away, ball 1. Gavin Mollenkoff plays the catcher position. Got 13 hits, 8 are singles, 4 doubles, and 1 triple. He's got 22 RBI. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1 to Mollenkoff. 1 foot in the box, 1 foot out. Checking the wristband. Dad's giving the signals. Working out a stretch, now the set. Runner at first base taking off. A strike at the plate. They'll throw to second base. Safe at second. Schumer tries to put the tag on him. He's just behind Eli Holloway. Safe at second. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner in scoring position for the Comets. Out of set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch finishes away. Low and away. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Now the set. Adriano checks second base. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be a hit by pitch. Going to get him on that inside elbow. We'll hope for him. He's going to jog to first base. He's probably not ready to go. He wants to walk that off. He's going to walk that off. Gavin Molenkoff, not quite ready. Molenkoff going to shake that off. He is the catcher. Got him on the left elbow. He's a right-handed catcher. Stepping into bat. 24, Noah Hurd. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Here comes a pitch. You're going to pop one. Foul territory. Is it going to be playable for Miller? Behind the back, nope. Catches it, tries to catch it behind his back there, I should say. And I'm just inside the back of the fence, a foul ball. So a good effort there by Ethan Miller. Count goes 0-1. Noah Hurd, right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Tatum Adriano, here comes the pitch. Outside, short hops the glove of Miller. And the runner's going to go up 90 feet. Runners at second and third base for the Comets. So Noah Hurd, a 1-1 count. Tatum Adriano going to have to find the strike zone, and Noah Hurd well aware of it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at second and third base for the Comets. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Peering in, looking at signals. Now out of the set position. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. High and tight, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Noah Hurd. Out of the set, Adriano. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Low and away, ball 4. So Noah Hurd draws a walk, and he'll load the bases. Bases now loaded for the Comets. Stepping into bat. It's going to be number 11, Carson Harness. And Coach Bourdonnais going to walk out, talk with his infield. And I tell you what, Jason, does Noah play football? What positions he play? D-line, O-line. He's a big guy. How big is he? That's a big guy. 6'2", 220. He just threw a walk. He's the pitcher of record right now for the Comets. Coach Bourdonnais talking to his infield right there near the pitcher's rubber. 3 aboard with nobody out. Knights were in the same situation offensively in the top of the 4th. Now the Comets, same situation in the bottom of the 4th. 8-6 contest. Nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Knights by 2. This has been a zigzag type of game on the seesaw. The lead has changed hands several times. So stepping in, nobody out. 5-hitter, number 11, Carson Harness. Here comes the first pitch from Adriano, low and away. Good block there. Kept it laterally to him. Ethan Miller saving a run. So stepping back in, Carson Harness. Working from the windup. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Ride down Meridian, strike called. Harness let it go by. He decided he wasn't going to swing. Now the count goes 1-1. Working out of windup, Adriano. Here's the pitch. Above the zone, just above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Adriano. High and away, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded, Adriano going to have to throw a fastball for a strike. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Right down Meridian, fastball, strike 2. Count goes 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Carson Harness knows he's getting ready to see a good pitch. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Right down Meridian will strike him out. He'll toss the bat aside. He'll think it's ball 4. And he'll walk back to the dugout looking. There's 1 out.
Now batting for the Comets, third baseman, number 22.
So stepping into bat, going to be the 6th hitter. Number 22's Parker Zimpelman. Here comes the pitch, high and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Peering in, pitching from the windup. Bases loaded, there's 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Foul ball. Straight back. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peering in over the glove from the windup. Tatum Adriano. Here comes the wind and the pitch to Zimpelman. Breaking pitch outside. Good block again by Ethan Miller. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Infield playing back. On the right side, here comes the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes even at 2-2. Parker Zimpelman on the season. He's played in 18 games. Batted .241. On base percentage, .371. Here comes the pitch. Low for a ball. Count goes full. Parker Zimpelman, entering this game, had been to the plate 70 times. 58 at-bats. He's got 14 hits, 11 singles, and 3 doubles. 3-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. He'll go down swinging. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Now batting for the Comets, the left fielder, number 21.
Next batter to step in for Caston. Number 21, Tucker Wolliver. Tucker Wolliver, a right-handed batter. Working from the windup, Adriano. Foul ball back to the screen. Count goes to 0-1. 21, Tucker Wolliver. He's played in all 18 games, batting .241. Right-handed batter's box. .371 on base percentage. Breaking pitch misses. Count goes 1-1. Tucker Wolliver, 19 hits, 13 singles, 6 doubles for Wolliver. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. Two balls, 1 strike. He'll step back in. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. And he's hit by pitch. So that's going to force a run. And coming in to touch the plate, that left foot is number 8, Eli Holloway. It's now an 8-7 contest. So Tucker Wolliver absorbs the hit by pitch. And next batter to step in, it's going to be the 8 hitter, number 15, London Hurd. London Hurd, left-handed batter. Working from the windup, Tatum Adriano. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Outside edge, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Left-handed batter. London Hurd from the freshman class. Here comes a pitch. High and away, ball 2. Let me double check that. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 count to London. Peering in, looking at signals over the glove. Tatum Adriano. 3 aboard, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2. Well, you're quick. You're quicker than me. 2 balls, 1 strike. Simon Hurd right here keeping the scoreboard, doing a tremendous job. Here comes the pitch. Outside and low, ball 3. Pardon? Oh, my bad. Simon McGrew. Now I know who you're related to. Mr. McGrew. No. Simon McGrew. Swing and a miss. Low pitch. 3-2 count to London Hurd. Simon McGrew to my right. And a left fielder, Drew McGrew. You related to him? Drew McGrew, his brother. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the Knights get out of the jam. Caston Comets leave 3 on board. Caston Comets get 1 back in the bottom of the 4th. We'll go to the 5th inning after 4 complete. Central Catholic, 8. Caston, 7. And I will also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Scott G. That's Scott Gashaw. When time is good, when you share, you should. Share and share alike. Support Indiana Middle School and High School athletics. Also bringing you today's ball game is AGM Auto LLC. At AGM Auto, you'll not only be treated with pure professionalism, you'll appreciate their state-of-the-art diagnostics and their up-to-date status of each of the AGM technicians. AGM technicians, they work well together. And AGM doesn't only work under the hood. AGM works toward the recovery and the restoration of the many now beautiful cars which are now showroom treasures, mechanically and cosmetically. Your car could be next. To contact AGM Auto, dial them up at 317-984-5283. Again, 317-984-5283. AGM Auto, they're just 4 miles east of US 31 on 266th Street. That's in Hamilton County. You can find them on Facebook at AGM Auto LLC. So the Knights going to step in with Mikey Stapleton, top of the 5th inning. Mikey Stapleton going to step in. He's played in all 16 games, batting .333, .419 on base percentage. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Noah Hurd. He's going to pop one up. Is it going to be playable? Maybe. He's going to float out of play, third base side. Giving it a look right there was Parker Zimpelman. No balls, 1 strike to Stapleton. So some bullpen activity down the first baseline. It's Alex Schumer getting some warm-up tosses. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Noah Hurd. Off-speed breaking pitch, ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peering in, both feet on the rubber. Working out the windup. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside. Making Mikey dance a little bit right there. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 8-7 contest. Top of the 5th, Knights by 1. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Stapleton. Hurd, here comes the 3-1. Right across the dish, strike called. Mikey knew it. Count goes full, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the wind and the 3-2. Going to pop one up. Trying to fight off ball 4. He pops it up on the infield. And it's going to be caught at first base. First out here at the top of the 5th. A catch made by 15 London Hurd, first baseman.
The designated hitter, number 3,
So
Jackson Kane. Set
to bat for the Knights. It'll be number 3, Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane in 16 games batting .354, .475 on base percentage. First pitch from Noah Hurd, high for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Step back in. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Noah. Outside of ball. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. Sky kind of getting a little bit cloudy now. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Right down meridian, strike called. 2-1 count to Kane. He'll step back in. You got 17 hits, 11 singles, 5 doubles, and a home run. Short out the glove there, Mollenkoff. Count goes 3-1 to Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane, 14 RBI. He scored 13 runs. He's been hit by pitch 1 time. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Low for ball 4. So Kane going to remove the apparatus and jog to first base. Next batter going to step in for the Knights. Going to be number 41, Brennan Van Kirk.
For the Knights, the left fielder, number 41,
Brennan Van Kirk. Right-handed batter. Van Kirk has played in 14 of the 16 games. He's batting .419. Right-handed batter's box. On base percentage, .537. Out of set, Noah Hurd. Here comes the pitch. High for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Signals given. Third base coach, Tim Bourdonnais. Working from the stretch. Now the set position, Noah Hurd. Here comes the a pickoff move, first base. No tag applied. Right there by London. They probably go home and talk about the game, don't they, Jason? Sure they did. Football too, I bet. So working off the set position there is Noah Hurd. Here comes the pitch. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So adjust the bill of his cap. 2-0 count, 1 out. Top of the 5th, 1 aboard for the Knights. Here comes the pitch. High above the zone, ball 3. So Brennan Van Kirk. Probably no green light for Brennan. Here comes the 3-0. Above the zone, ball 4. So Knight's going to draw a walk. It's going to move Jackson Kane to second base. Brennan Van Kirk to first base. And the next batter going to be number 28, Tatum Adriano. Adriano going to step in. He's played in 12 games prior to this one. He's batting .238. On base, .385. 26 plate appearances, 21 at-bats. Out of set. Check second base. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch finishes away. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Going to call time there. Gavin Mollenkoff going to go out. Going to chat with Noah Hurd. And I'm getting some information there. And jogging back, get behind home plate again. Gavin Mollenkoff. Gavin is a junior class member as the catcher. Ball's made live. 1-0 count. Out of set, Noah Hurd. Here comes the pitch to Adrian. Up, pickoff move. Second base, and they're going to get him. Off the base, a bit too far. And a nice throw from Noah Hurd picks off Jackson Kane. So the Knights now have 2 out with 1 aboard. 1 ball, no strikes. Pretty easy way to get an out for Noah. Out of set. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Adriano. Right down meridian. Strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brennan Van Kirk is at first base, the lone runner for the Knights. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Inside tight. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. 8-7 ball game. Knights in front. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Swung on. He'll take one to left field. It's going to back him up just a little bit, and a catch is made for the 3rd out in the inning. Was that Drew? Drew McGrew. You know him, don't you, Simon?
Yep, he's my brother.
You probably like him pretty well.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, he says. Sometimes. But Simon doing a heck of a job with the scoreboard. I asked him if he could get the balls and strikes up there quick, and he's quicker than me. Good job, man. So we'll go to the bottom of the 5th, and we're going to listen to the little Waylon Jennings. I watched a lot of Dukes of Hazzard. Did you? Yeah, for sure. Tom Wopat, John Schneider. And I forget that girl's name, but her name was Daisy. I remember that. But there you go, Catherine Bach. I was a freshman at Indiana State watching that when I should have been in class. Will mention, Knights going to go out and play defense in the bottom of the 5th inning. This game is also in part being brought to you by Noblesville Trophies. You can shop them online at noblesvilletrophies.com or stop in, if only to browse around. 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. Trophies, awards, plaques, and more. Fast turnaround. Prices are low. They're so low you may want to be a repeat customer. That's Noblesville Trophies, 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana, 46060. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can reach them by phone at 317-773-7391. Again, that's 317-773-7391. Or online at Noblesville Trophies. So they're throwing the ball around out there in the outfield. I see Calvin Reisman. He's throwing the ball around. He's got a knee brace on. He was injured at first base. Might have been a hyperextended type of injury. He's running pretty good. He's running pretty good back to the dugout. So that's a good sign for Calvin and for Knights fans. So 8-7 contest. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Knights in front. Stepping into bat. Number 9, Lane Halterman, right fielder. First pitch from Adriano. Hit by pitch. So Adriano puts him on, and with the first pitch, the bottom of the 5th, hit by pitch. And I will mention Lane Halterman. That's the 4th time he's been hit by pitch this season. So he's at first base now, stepping in, the one hitter. Number 4, Logan Mollenkoff, center fielder. Working from the stretch now. Tatum Adriano out of the set position. First pitch to Mollenkoff. Even squared a bunt, pulls the bat back. It's ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom of the 5th inning. 1 runner aboard at first base for the Comets. Out of the set. Adriano. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Outside edge, strike called. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Logan Mollenkoff can definitely reach the home run fence. He's got a swing. He's going to foul this one back up against the screen. Count goes 1-2. Logan Mollenkoff, a quick bat through the zone. 1-2 count to Mollenkoff. He bats .444 in 18 games. That's a batting average. He's a lefty. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. High and away. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Hit by pitch. He's at first base. That's Lane Halterman. Out of the set, here comes the 2-2. Healthy cut, swing and miss. He'll go back to the dugout. There's 1 out. Getting ready to bat. Going to be number 8, Eli Holloway. Eli Holloway has 2 hits in the ball game. I believe 1 is a double and a single. 2 doubles and a what? 3 for 3. 2 doubles and a single, Jason says. First pitch outside, good block by Ethan Miller. So Eli Holloway, 2 doubles and a single. So he's got 20 singles on the season and now 10 doubles. And he has 30 hits on the season. He's going to be hit by pitch right there. So 2 aboard, they're both hit by pitch. Holloway gets hit. And timeout on the diamond. They're going to call timeout. Coach Bourdonnais going to walk out, talk with his infield. And we'll also mention this game is in part being brought to you by Honey Creek Resort. Honey Creek Resort, what a beautiful place to be. Plan your vacation or maybe a weekend getaway. Honey Creek Resort, they're located right there in southern Iowa. They have 840 acres of fantastic nature. Fun and recreation adventures are only a 1 day's drive away. Honey Creek Resort in southern Iowa, where fellow Hoosiers Beth and Terry Henderson have an amazing lodge and cabins with fabulous fishing, boating, golfing, horse carriages, and much more. Truly amazing adventures and hospitality await you at honeycreekresort.com. Make your group, business, and family getaway reservations today. Call Honey Creek Resort at 641-724-1450. Again, that's 641-724-1450. At honeycreekresort.com. So the Knights insert a second relief pitcher. It's number 12, Alex Schumer. Alex Schumer, I believe he may have pitched last night. My stats may not be accurate. We'll mention 6 innings. This is appearance number 5, might be 6. He has started 1 game. 28 batters faced, 111 pitches thrown. He's got a win-loss record of 2 wins, 1 loss, 4 hits, 5 runs. None of them were earned. He has walked 3, struck out 9. 2 of those went down looking. And he has not hit a batter this season. Step into bat. 3-hitter number 5, Gavin Mollenkoff, the catcher. Pitch comes in low, ball 1. 2 runners aboard for the Comets. Here in the bottom of the 5th, there's 1 out. Runners at first and second base. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Healthy cuts, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1 to Gavin Mollenkoff. Steps back in. Right-handed batter, bit of an open stance. Mollenkoff, as mentioned, a junior class member. Here's the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Working from the stretch, peering in, looking at signals. Alex Schumer, here's the pitch. Strike 3, they're going to call him out. That was kind of the lower part of the zone. And he'll set down. That'll be 2 outs.
Number 24, Noah Hurd.
Set to bat. Stepping in now, the 4-hitter, number 24, Noah Hurd. Working from the stretch, now the set position. He'll check second base. First pitch to Noah. Low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Comets have 2 aboard, first and second base. We're going to have a stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Low and away, ball 2. Noah Hurd in 18 ball games, batting .368, .493 on base percentage, 73 plate appearances, 57 at bats. Here comes the pitch. Low for ball 3. 3-0 count to Noah Hurd. Noah Hurd has 21 hits, 15 singles, 4 doubles. He has 2 home runs. Alice said, here comes the 3-0. Home plate was wide open. Count goes 3-1. Noah Hurd has 20 RBI on the season. He's just behind Gavin Mollenkoff with 22. Pitch comes in high and tight, ball 4. So we'll jog to first base. They'll load the bases.
Now batting for the Comets.
With 2 outs.
The second baseman.
Stepping in, the 5-hitter, number 11, Carson Harness. He's a shortstop. Harness going to step in. 245 batting average. He's played in all 18 games. 437 on base. First pitch to Harness. Inside half, strike called. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. Ethan Miller reflecting the signals from home plate. Pitch comes in low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. I should say reflecting signals from the dugout. Coach Bourdonnais with his earpiece. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Out of the set. Schumer, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Carson Harness, 5-hitter. Shortstop, right-handed batter. Facing the righty. Alex Schumer out of the set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. A foul tip off the body armor of Ethan Miller. Everybody's okay. So 1 ball, 2 strikes again. He'll step back in, right-handed batter's box. Carson Harness. We're going to have a stretch, peering in. He'll shake off 1 signal. Out of the set position. Here comes the 1-2, second time. Foul ball, check swing. Going to go out of play. It's going to bounce a while out there in the parking lot. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Peering in, looking at signals. Alex Schumer. 1-2 count. 3rd time to Harness. High, well above the zone. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schumer steps back in the rubber. Looking for signals. Ethan Miller. Out of the set, he'll check second base. Here comes the 2-2. Above the zone, ball 3. Count goes full. Base is loaded. Runners will be moving on the pitch. No place to put Harness. Out of the set. Here comes the full count, but they're going to trying to get a pickle there. It didn't happen. So a good effort. Thought pattern was good. He'll step back in the rubber. Alex Schumer. Out of the set, he'll check second. Here comes the 3-2. Swing and a miss, and the Knights are out of the inning. So they'll jog back to the dugout. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 3 on base. 2 of them hit by pitch, maybe 3. But we'll mention going to the top of the 6th inning. Through 5 innings, Knights 8, Comets 6. And we'll go to the top of the 6th inning. And we'll mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Discount Copies. Discount Copies, they are conveniently located at the west edge of Noblesville, Indiana. That's at 46062. They're just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32. It's right there along State Road 32. At Discount Copies, they provide setup services where you can turn your artwork into things such as note cards, notepads, prints, and calendars. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards. They'll have posters. They'll have oversized printing. It's all available right there at Discount Copies. And if you're planning a wedding, they can print all of your necessary needs. Just call Discount Copies. You can reach them by phone, 317-773-8783. You can call Teresa. She's the originator right there at Discount Copies, or her daughter, Sarah. You can reach them both at 317-773-8783 or by Gmail. You can reach them at discountcopies96@gmail.com. So Knight's going to bat here in the top of the sixth. First batter in the sixth. He is going to be number 5, Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick, right-handed batter. Colton Minnick played in 13 games, batting .261. First pitch, strike, inside edge. Noah Hurd back out on the pitcher's rubber. Right-handed pitcher. Peering over the glove, here comes the wind and the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch just misses. Home plate, you can hardly see it. Boy, I dust that off a lot more often than that. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Second base, two-hopper. Fielded there, thrown over. Get the put out with number 15, London Hurd. So that play made at second base by number 11, Carson Harness. And there's one out here in the top of the sixth. Next batter will step in. It's going to be DJ Gilkey. DJ Gilkey wears number 33. Left-handed batter. Working from the windup, Noah Hurd. Here's the pitch. Outside and low, ball 1. Step back in. DJ Gilkey, batting .295 in 15 games. Breaking pitch finishes above the zone. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Gilkey on base percentage, .392. Here comes the pitch. High above the zone, ball 3. DJ Gilkey on the season has 13 hits. 9 are singles, 4 are doubles. Outside of ball, Gilkey jogs to first base. Knights have some more bullpen activity down the right field line. It's Lucas Gerke. Lucas Gerke wears number 10. And next batter to step in, it's going to be Hudson Gutwine. And DJ Gilkey going to walk off the base pad. He's going to get a runner for him. We'll try to capture that. I think it might be 23. We'll double check here. So he puts the gloves on, fakes the throw as Hurd. He was not on the rubber. We'll work out a stretch. Now the set. First pitch to Gutwine. Swung on. He'll take a shot to left field. And it's a line drive shot caught in left field by Drew McGrew. That was a rocket, Simon. And Drew McGrew is right there. There's 2 out on the Knights here in the top of the 6th. Schumer. Number 12, Alex Schumer.
Number 12, Alex Schumer.
So the Knights have Vince Telenko doing the base running at first base. So left-handed batter, Alex Schumer. Batting .292. Out of the set, Noah Hurd. Here's the pitch. High and inside, ball 1. So Schumer, on-base percentage of .443. 14 hits, 10 singles, 4 doubles. Out of the set, Noah Hurd. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Schumer's going to pop one out of play. Left side. Alex Schumer, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Just step back in. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. You'll look at first base. Now the set position. Noah Hurd. Here comes 1-1. Going to take off for second base. Throw to second base. Safe at second is Talenko. And the Knights have a runner at second base with 2 outs. Alex Schumer going to step back in. 2 balls, 1 strike. Stepping back in the rubber, Noah Hurd. He'll peer in, look at signals from Gavin Mollenkoff. Stepping off the back of the rubber to step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Now out of the set. It checks second base. Here comes the pitch. Outside half, strike call. Fastball, Noah Hurd. Count goes even at 2-2 with 2 out. Runner at second base. Top of the 6th inning. 8-7 contest. Comets trying to get out of this inning without giving up a run. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, going to pull it severely foul. Nearly got a car. That was close. And so that was a hooking foul ball there off the left-handed bat of Schumer. 2 balls, 2 strikes once again. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Hurd. Out of the set position. Check second. Here's the pitch. Swung on. You're going to take it the other way. It's going to be playable. It's going to be shortstop. Makes a tremendous catch. That was number 8. Eli Holloway. Tracked that down behind third base about 60 feet out in the grass. So the Knights get out of the inning without scoring a run. They leave 2 aboard. And at the end of 5.5, Knights 8, Comets 7. Comets going to bat in the bottom of the 6th. And again, we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear at Century 21. She's a real estate agent with a high IQ that will work for the benefit of you. Lisa specializes in residential and corporate relocations. She has a vast knowledge with more than 25 years of question answering experience. Let Lisa look or let Lisa list. Each home is precious. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21, Sheets Company. A highly recommended real estate agent and a highly recommended real estate broker. To contact Lisa Stokes Bear, contact her by phone or by text message. 317-513-4086. Again, her number is 317-513-4086. So the Knights throwing it around the infield and toss one down second base. Frozen rope from Ethan Miller. First batter going to stand in for Caston. And here in the bottom of the 6th is going to be number 22, Parker Zimpelman. And Parker Zimpelman, he's third baseman. Bats in the 6th spot. Zimpelman has played in all 18 games, batting .241 in that right-handed batter's box. .371 on base percentage. 70 plate appearances, 58 at-bats, 14 hits, 11 are singles, 3 are doubles. First pitch comes in, a ball low, 1 ball, no strikes. So Zimpelman, right-handed batter facing the righty. Alex Schumer, second pitch, swung on. He got a lot of it. He's going to go down to the corner. Third base corner. It's going to bounce over. It's going to be a 2-base hit. So it's a fair ball, and it's going to bounce over a 2-base hit for Zimpelman. He got a lot of that one. I thought it might go. But Van Kirk puts his arms up as soon as it bounced over. So timeout on the diamond. Coach Bourdonnais might go with Lucas Gerke. Looks like Gerke is going to get some pitching experience here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runner at second base, Coach Bourdonnais, going to make a change. So Lucas Gerke had some bullpen activity. And then Alex Schumer going to jog off We'll see if he's going to stay in the game. He probably will. Yes, he will. And then we'll see where he goes. He's a versatile player. So getting some warm-up tosses here in a moment is going to be Lucas Gerke. So Jonah Gerke started the game. Lucas Gerke may end the game, and we'll see. Where's number 10, Lucas Gerke? He's a senior. And Lucas Gerke will mention on the season, he's going to step in. Where's number, what's that? No, 50, Gerke. 10, first baseman. Are you lefty? I didn't know that. I'm lefty. So Lucas Gerke going to step in. And I will mention, which one? 10? First baseman. Start. So he getting some warm-up tosses. And I will mention Lucas Gerke enters this particular stint of pitching with 27 2/3 innings. This is appearance number 6. He has started 5 games. He's faced 119 batters, thrown 441 pitches. His record is 4 wins, 0 losses. He's given up 22 hits, 14 runs. 7 of those runs were earned. He has walked 10 batters. He struck out 37. 12 of them went down looking, and he's hit 2 batters this season. We got 5 innings left this week. It's going to be dangerous. So, getting some final words there. Ethan Miller. Lucas Gerke stepping into bat. For Caston is number 21, the 7-hitter, Tucker Wolver. Got himself aboard last time up with a base hit. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Inside a ball. So runner at second base is the tying run in this ball game. Nobody out. 1-0 pitch on the way from Lucas Gerke. Right down meridian, strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. 21, Tucker Wolver. He's batting .352. That right-handed batter's box. .478 on base percentage. Pitch comes in, high and away. Ball 2. 2-1 count to Wolver. Pretty good sized young man. Right-handed batter facing the righty. Lucas Gerke. Jonah did start the game. Here's the pitch. Right across the dish, strike called. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Piernan looking at signals, going to shake one off. And probably might have got away with a balk right there. Would you agree, Jason? He was out. He was in a set. He started to go he was in a stretch, started to go to the set and hesitated and didn't. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. Full swing, foul ball. Looked like a good bunt almost. But a full swing, foul ball. He'll stay in the box with a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Step back in, tap the plate far. 2-2 count. Piernan looking at signals. Lucas Gerke. Out of the set, he'll check second. Here's the 2-2. Going to be a shot right side. Nobody there to cover first base. And it's going to be an infield hit off the bat of Tucker Wolver. So moves the runner to third base.
Now batting for the Comets.
And now Wolver is at first base. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 15, London Hurd. London Hurd is now the first baseman. He started the game as the DH. Left-handed batter. Runners on the corners. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Fastball. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Piernan looking at signals. Lucas Gerke checks first base. Out of the set. He'll use the double set. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. High and away, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-handed batter, London Hurd. Out of the set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first and third base, nobody out. Comets batting at the bottom of the 6th, trailing by 1 run. Pitch comes in low and inside, ball 3. Is that 2 or 3? Ball 2. You're quick. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peering in, looking at signals. 2-2 count. Lucas Gerke to London Hurd. Foul ball, right side, just right of first base. Fielded by the coach. Coach looked like he could play some slow pitch, Jason. Coach at first base? Pretty good athlete, huh? So working from a stretch. 2-2 count again to London Hurd. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. So healthy cat, he'll swing and miss, and he'll go back to the dugout. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runners at first and third base. Next batter going to step in. Lane Halterman, 9-hitter, wears number 9. Halterman in 18 games, batting .225, .385 on base percentage. Working out a stretch, now the set. First pitch to Halterman. Just misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Halterman checks the wristband. Runners on the corners. Now the set, here comes the pitch. Taking off for second base. They're going to fake a throw to second. It's going to be a stolen base. And runners now at second and third base. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Lane Halterman, the batter. Out of set, Lucas Gerke checks third base. Here's the pitch. Right down meridian, strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. Logan Mollenkoff is on deck. Out of the set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball. We fielded, and they're going to tag the guy out. Lucas Gerke gets the out and secures the baseball. Nothing malicious. Out number 2. So runner stays at third base. So runners second and third base. Next batter going to step in, number 4, Logan Mollenkoff. He plays center field. Mollenkoff batting .444. That's in 18 games. .615 on base percentage. Out of the set, Lucas Gerke. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 0-1 to Logan. Logan Mollenkoff in 18 games, 78 plate appearances, 54 at-bats. Out of the set, Gerke. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Lucas Gerke is reaching back for some extra MPH. Senior pitcher, Lucas Gerke. Freshman batter, Logan Mollenkoff. Foul one, left side, out of play. Logan Mollenkoff, left-handed batter. He's got 24 hits on the season. Entering this game, that leads the team. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Low for a ball. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's got 12 RBI. He has scored 30 runs on the season, and that leads the team. Out of set, here comes the pitch. You're going to take a stride to right field. It's going down the line, but foul. Got a lot of that one. It went out of play, but it was right down the line, right field. He's a lefty. He got around on that pretty good. He reminds me of a guy I used to play baseball with, Jeff Baber. Jeff Baber, man, he could hit the baseball. He was just a natural. He moved away in middle school and went to Noblesville. We didn't get to have him at Hamilton Heights. That was a bummer. Alice said, here comes the 1-2. High and tight. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 aboard, second and third base. Alva set. Gerke, here comes the pitch. Foul ball, out of play. I tell you what, that Logan Mollenkoff, he is fearless. I mean, for a guy to step in as a freshman against a senior, batting .444, go down the count, and then foul 3 off. Alva set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, they're going to strike him out, looking, froze him, and the Knights get out of the jam. They leave 2 aboard. Nobody scores in the 6th inning. And at the end of 6, Knights 8, Comets 7. And again, we'll mention a little bit about what's going to happen. Sectional baseball. We'll mention Class 1A, Sectional 50. Sectional 50 going to be here at Caston High School. And its first round will be Tri-County versus North Newton. The winner of that game will play Pioneer in the semifinal. And then lower bracket, it's West Central and Caston. The winner of that game will play the winner of North White and South Newton. So that scale, that's going to be a good tournament. Class 1A Sectional 50. And then at Central Catholic, the sectional could be Class 2A, Sectional 37. Game 1 will be Lafayette Central Catholic and Rensselaer Central. The winner of that game will play Benton Central in the semifinal. And then in the lower bracket, it'll be Delphi versus North Montgomery. The winner of that game will play the winner of Western Boone, Seeger. So that'll line it all up for you for a final game. So stepping in, Knight's going to bat. Top of the 7th inning. Lucas Gerke going to step in.
Now batting for the Knights.
So Noah Hurd back out on the rubber. For Caston, 8-7 contest. Last night it was a 1-run game. Peering in, looking at the signals. Left-handed batter, Lucas Gerke. Out of windup, here comes the pitch. Swung on, he's going to pop it up. It's going to go out of play. Foul ball, count goes 0-1. Lucas Gerke in 16 games, he's played in all of them, batting .357. .550 on base percentage. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, just misses. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Hurd. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Take a shot. It's going to go left side, out of play. He takes it the other way. He does that quite often. Lucas Gerke gets the bat through the zone. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch. He'll take that one to right field. It's going to bounce once. Going to get over the glove. And Lucas Gerke is going to go to second base standing up. And they're probably going to call that a double. So Gerke is at second base. First batter in the top of the 7th inning. Lucas Gerke picks up his fourth double on the season. So next batter stepping in for the Knights, number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Stapleton, he's played in all 16 games, batting .333. He's the 4-hitter. He's got .419 on base percentage. Stepping off the back of the rubber, Noah Hurd will step back in. So Noah Hurd from the set position. He'll check second. First pitch to Stapleton. Low for a ball. Good block by Gavin Mollenkoff. 1 ball, no strikes. So signals given. Coach Bortney, third base coach. Peering in, looking at signals. Now out of the set. Noah Hurd checks second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It'll be a full swing foul ball out in front of the dugout there. Third base side. Caston Comets dugout. So Mikey Stapleton steps back in, a 1-1 count. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Hurd, the pitcher. Out of the set position, he'll check second base. The 1-1 pitch. It'll be a foul ball back to the screen. Need a baseball replenishment at home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mikey Stapleton. Stapleton on the season, 16 hits, 15 RBI. Mikey Stapleton has been hit by pitch 10 times. He leads the team with 10 stolen bases. He's going to take a shot to left field. Going to back up the left field. Going to get over his head. Going to go back up against the wall. Knights are going to round third base. Going to score a run. It's going to be Lucas Gerke and Coach Bortney going to hold up Mikey Stapleton at second base. So a 2-base hit and an RBI from Mikey Stapleton. He now has 4 doubles on the season and now 16 RBI. So we'll step in. Jackson Kane out of the set. Noah Hurd. Here comes the pitch. He'll take a shot to the outfield. Going to veer. And the ball's going to get by and pick him up in the corner. Right there, Drew McGrew, left fielder. And Jackson Kane and Mikey Stapleton trade places with a double and an RBI from Kane. So the next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Brennan Van Kirk going to step in.
Brennan Van Kirk.
And Jackson Kane now with 15 RBI on the season, 6 doubles, and 18 hits. So Brennan Van Kirk, right-handed batter for the Knights. He's played in 14 games, batting .419, .537 on base, 13 hits. He's got 12 singles and 1 double. Out of the set, Noah Hurd checks second base. Here's the pitch. Thought about a bunt, pulled the bat back. Ball 1. It was low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Bullpen activity down the left field line. They're going to work the long toss there. Working from a set position. Here's the pitch. Going to square the bunt. Brennan Van Kirk puts a bunt down just outside in front of the plate. And it's safe at first base on a bunt single is Brennan Van Kirk. So Van Kirk picks up a bunt single.
Now batting for the Knights.
The Knights going to send to the plate Tatum Adriano. Now runner at third base, Jackson Kane. And Mikey Stapleton scores the run. Knights have 2 runs in here in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch inside and low, ball 1. Working out stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch. Noah Hurd high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners at first and third base for the Knights. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. High and away, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Van Kirk at first base. Jackson Kane at third base. 3-0 pitch. Tatum Adriano. Right down meridian, strike call. 3-1 count. to Tatum Adriano. He'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Noah Hurd. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. Adriano. Not swinging the bat. Count goes full. 3-2 count. We'll step back in. Out of the set, Noah Hurd. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Be a ground ball foul left of third base. So Adriano will stay in the box with a 3-2 count. Second time. And the Comets are warming up a lefty in their bullpen. Peering in, looking at signals. 3-2, Adriano. Out of the set, Noah Hurd. Here comes the 3-2 again. They're going to call time. Time granted at home plate. That was peculiar. Noah Hurd seemed to be lifting the right leg when it was granted. So they moved the runner, Van Kirk, back to first base. Out of the set, here comes the 3-2. Going to take a shot to left center field. It's going to drop in a base hit and an RBI. Jackson Kane comes in to score from third base. And Tatum Adriano has an RBI single. So the Knights have 3 runs in here in the top of the 7th inning. Next batter going to step in. Nobody out is number 5, Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick, a sophomore, 261 batting average, 414. He's seen a lot of playing time as of late. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. He's going to square the bunt. He put a bunt down third baseline. Fair ball, picked up. The throw is in the grass, and it gets by the first baseman. Third baseman right there, Parker Zimpelman. And the Knights are going to score a run. It's going to be Brennan Van Kirk. And ended up at second base is Colton Minnick. He's going to reach first by air and then take second by the overthrow. So Colton Minnick is at third base. Colton Minnick at first base. And Tatum Adriano at third base. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. Talenko. Vince Talenko. Back in the lineup. Center fielder. DJ Gilkey exits the lineup as a sub. Here comes the set. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside. Ball 2. Vince Talenko on the season. He's played in 13 games. This is 14. 240 on base percentage. Got 3 hits, 2 singles, and a double. Here comes the pitch. He's going to take a shot to left field. It's going to be can of corn. Nope. Not going to get to it. Have to reach over. Willie May style, reach out in front of him. Couldn't bring it in. Coming in to score from third base is Tatum Adriano. And timeout on the diamond. Pitching coach going to walk out. Talk with his infield. Noah Hurd going to hand him the baseball. And coming in to pitch, going to be the lefty. It's going to be number 18, Ryder Craig. Ryder Craig, senior. Ryder Craig, left-handed pitcher. We'll mention Ryder Craig. No wins, no losses. We'll mention this is going to be appearance number 4 for Ryder Craig. And I will also mention Ryder Craig has given up 3 hits, 6 runs. 5 of those runs were earned. He has walked 9. He has struck out 3. He's faced 21 batters, thrown 81 pitches. Ryder Craig, a member of the senior class. So he's getting some warm-up tosses right there on the diamond. And we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Camino and Company. Camino and Company is in downtown Noblesville, right there on the square. It's on the north side of the square, northeast side to be exact. And Camino and Company is a mobile flower shop brought to you by local flower farmers and providers. Business partners, that's the small business partners and the Camino and Company founders. Their mascot is a 1984 El Camino SS. That El Camino belongs to V.E. Witham. V.E. Witham is the grandpa of Carly Witham Elbrett. Carly is my daughter, my dad's granddaughter, and the goal at Camino and Company is to please each customer from their concept to the Camino and Company completion. You can explore their website. Their website is camino-and-company.com. Stepping in for the Knights, Hudson Gutwine. Gutwine, the one hitter, leadoff batter in this game. Hudson Gutwine wears number 9. Now pitching is number 18, Ryder Craig, senior class member. You're going to pop one up. Is it going to be playable? Right side, first baseman giving it a look. That's 24, Noah Hurd, back at first base. So no balls, 1 strike to Hudson Gutwine. Working from the stretch, now the set. Runner at second and third, outside of ball. Number 18, Ryder Craig. Really strong-looking young man. Working from the stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. Knights have 5 runs in here in the 7th. Alba set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball. Out of play. Night has set in here at Caston High School. Not completely. Lights are good. The darkness is nearby. Here comes the pitch. Above the zone, ball 3. Count goes full. 3-2 count to Gutwine. Gutwine has walked 15 times on the season in 64 plate appearances. Pitch comes in low. Short hop the glove there of Gavin Mollenkoff. And Hudson Gutwine picks up a walk here in the 7th. So next batter going to step in for the Knights going to be number 12, Alex Schumer. Knights have bases loaded here in the 7th. Nobody out. Schumer, left-handed batter, going to step in. Facing the lefty, Ryder Craig. Alba set. Here comes the pitch. High and tight, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Knights occupying each base. At third base, it's Colton Minnick. Alba set, here's the pitch. Low and away. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Alba stretch, set. Pitch comes in low and away. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Infield is in. Lip of the grass. Here comes the pitch. Inside, ball 4. And that's going to force in a run from third base. So coming in to score is Colton Minnick. And next batter in the lineup going to be number 10, Lucas Gerke.
Lucas Gerke.
So runners on each base, stepping back in the rubber, peering in, looking for signals. Ryder Craig out of the set. First pitch to Gerke. High and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Infield in. Out of set, Ryder Craig. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Some more bullpen activity down the third baseline. We're in the corner. Out of set. Here comes the pitch. High and tight, ball 3. Getting loose down there is number 10, Jeffrey Foster. Jeffrey Foster's a freshman, an infielder, a pitcher, and an outfielder. Out of set, here comes a 3-0 pitch. Right down meridian, strike called. Take pitch all the way. Count goes 3-1. Lucas Gerke, right, looking for a good pitch here. Low and away, ball 4. That's going to force in another run. Knights are going to cross the plate with Vince Telenko. Timeout on the diamond. Going to go with a pinch runner at first base. Going to be a courtesy runner for Gerke. Mikey Stapleton going to be the next batter in the lineup for the Knights. So nobody out. Making an adjustment there on the miniature stenographer's pad. Home plate umpire Phil Natero. Step in the rubber. Ryder Craig out of set position. First pitch, Stapleton. He'll drive it to center field. I'm going to center field. Going to drop in. And Mikey Stapleton's going to get credit for a single and an RBI as Hudson Gutwein comes in to score. So base is still loaded, nobody out. Next batter is going to be Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane going to step in. Jackson has 1 hit in the ball game. It was a double. He picked up an RBI with that double. Out of set, Craig. Here comes the pitch. High and away, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Kane steps in. Infield still on the lip of the grass. Swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're going to have a set position. Here's the pitch. A bit of a quick pitch there. Ball high. Count goes 2-1. Stepping back in the rubber. Peering in, look for signals. Craig. Swing and a miss. Count goes 2-2. Jackson Kane. Ryder Craig. Out of set. Jackson didn't want to face a quick pitch. Home plate umpire might have been allowing it. Step back in the rubber. Ryder Craig is now out of set position. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And he'll go down swinging, and there's 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. So next batter going to step in. It's going to be number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Van Kirk going to step in, right-handed batter. Infield still on the lip of the grass. There's 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Bases loaded. Here comes the pitch. Inside ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Brennan Van Kirk in 14 games, batting .419, .537 on base percentage. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Strike called outside half. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stepping back in, Brennan Van Kirk. Out of set, Ryder Craig. Here's the pitch. We get over the head of the catcher. Coming in to score from third base is going to be number 12, Alex Schumer. So the count goes 2-1. to Van Kirk. Runners move up 90 feet. First base is open. Runners at second and third base. Working from the stretch. Now the set. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ryder Craig looking for that release point. He has not lost it for very long. He'll get it back. How the set. Here comes a 3-1 pitch from Craig. Strike called. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Brennan Van Kirk batting for the Knights. Top of the 7th. There's 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Inside, ball 4. So the Knights load the bases once again. The next batter going to step in. It's going to be Adriano. Tatum Adriano, freshman.
Number 28. Tatum Adriano.
So Adriano going to step in, right-handed batter. Pierre looking to signal. Ryder Craig, here comes the pitch. Low for a ball. Short hops a glove. Good block by Gavin Mollenkoff. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Base is loaded for the Knights. Out of set, here comes the pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. On deck is Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick has scored a run in this inning. Out of set. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside. Another good block by Mollenkoff. 3 balls, no strikes. Step back in the rubber. Ryder Craig out of set. Here comes the pitch. Strike called. Count goes 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Out of set. Ryder Craig. Here comes the 3-1 count. Strike 2. Taken for a strike. Inside edge. Step back in the box. Ryder Craig back in the rubber. Out of set. 3-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Ball 4. High. Well above the plate. Ball 4 going to score a run. We'll mention the courtesy runner for Lucas Gerke was number 27, Keegan McCarter. So timeout on the diamond. They're going to go with another. Going to go with another one.
Now batting for the Knights, number 5, Colton.
They're going to go with another pitcher, number 10.
New pitcher for the Comets.
Jeffrey Foster.
Jeffrey Foster.
So Foster going to get some warm-up tosses. He's a freshman by class. Where's number 10? He's an infielder, a pitcher, and an outfielder. He's probably pretty happy to get a chance to play in this game. I remember the day. So he'll get some warm-up tosses. And we'll mention that's number 10, Foster. And Foster, when I prepped for this game earlier today, it was early this morning. This is going to be the first outing as a pitcher for Jeffrey Foster. And not a lot of folks spell Jeffrey with the G. Some do, but it's Geofffery, Jeffrey. Not a lot of folks. So Jeffrey Foster getting some time here on the pitcher's rubber here in the top of the 7th inning against Central Catholic. It's an 18-7 contest. It was 8-7. The top of the 7th inning right here, Jeffrey Foster. I have him listed as a batter. I don't have pitching stats here. I have highlighted the young man's numbers that has pitched this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now number 8, Jeffrey Foster. So he's getting some warm-up tosses right here on the diamond. He's getting close right now. Getting close. They're going to ask the runners to go back to their bases. Knights have bases loaded. There's one out. Next batter in the lineup is going to be number 5, Colton Minnick. He's having some words right there with Phil Natero. I tell you what, Colton Minnick is a nice young man. I can tell you that from experience. He's going to step into bat right now. Working from the stretch, Jeffrey Foster out of a set. First pitch to Colton. Swung on. Colton will pop it to left field. It's going to drop in. Base hit. Just over the shortstop's head. They were in on the lip of the grass. That didn't take a whole lot to get over their head. He tried to track it down with one out. And Colton Minnick gets a base hit. Popped it over the shortstop's head to the back of the grass. So run comes in to score. And it is number 12, Schumer. And next batter is Vince Talenko, was number 25. Here's the pitch. He's going to pop one up. Playable. Pitcher's going to call for it. Jeffrey, oh, what a catch. What a backhand catch. That was 24. Noah Hurd caught that just above the surface. Backhand as it was coming straight down. There are 2 out. Stepping in, Hudson Gutwein. Gutwein steps in. One hitter for the Knights. Still 3 aboard for the Knights. Pitch comes in outside. Just missed. So Jeffrey Foster throwing some good pitches right here in the top of the 7th inning. Just a freshman. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Hit by pitch. Hudson Gutwein going to jog to first base. A run's going to be forced in. Crossing the plate is number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. And Gutwein has been hit twice in this ball game. He picks up hit by pitch number 7. Next batter is Alex Schumer. Schumer, left-handed batter. Out of a stretch. Foster, here's the pitch. Strike called, outside edge. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. Jeffrey Foster pitching for the Comets. Out of a set, here's the pitch. Swung on, foul ball. A.J. Bourdonnais tries to show his shortstop ability from his Central Catholic days. He played at Marion University, played shortstop there. Now he's a Purdue man. Out of the set position, Jeffrey Foster. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and take it the other way. Right there left field. Trying to make the grab. Couldn't make the grab. And 2 runs in to score for the Knights. It's going to be Adriano and Minnick scoring the runs. So 2 RBI off the bat of Schumer. So next batter going to step in. It's going to be Lucas Gerke. Lucas Gerke, they're going to allow him to bat. Left-handed batter facing the righty pitcher, Jeffrey Foster. Runners at first and third base for the Knights. Working out a set, Jeffrey Foster, first pitch to Gerke, outside a ball. So Alex Schumer is at first base. At third base is Hudson Gutwein. The batter is Lucas Gerke. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Help to take that back. It's McCarter. Now batting number 27. That's Keegan McCarter. McCarter has been in now 6 games on the season. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch outside and high for a ball. 2-1 count. McCarter has an on-base percentage of 1,000. He's yet to get a base hit. He's been to the plate 1 time. This is number 2. Here comes the pitch. The foul one back to the screen. Keegan McCarter has no RBI. He has scored 5 runs. He has walked 1 time. He's got a stolen base in a base running role. Left-handed batter facing the righty, Jeffrey Foster. Here comes the pitch. High and away. Ball 3. Count goes 3-2. Keegan McCarter batting for the Knights here in the 7th inning. Out of the set. Foster, here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So we'll jog down to first base. Keegan McCarter, and he picks up his 2nd walk on the season. Stepping in, Mikey Stapleton. Number 11, Stapleton, the 4-hitter. Peering in, looking at signals. Foster, Jeffrey Foster, here's the pitch. Swung on, can be a hit to left field. Going to bounce in. Knights going to score 2 on the single by Stapleton. Coming in to score Hudson Gutwein and Alex Schumer. Next batter in the lineup, probably going to be called for. They're going to take Jackson Kane's bat away from him and bring in another pinch hitter. And it's going to be Ethan Miller, number 29. Ethan Miller going to take his gear off. So Ethan Miller going to get a chance to bat here in the 7th inning. Number 29, he's glad to get a chance. I'm going to stretch out a little bit. Maybe they pulled him out. So they're going to go with another. So they're going to go with Renbeck. Renbeck, it's going to be Cooper Renbeck, number 7.
Now batting for the Knights, number 7, Cooper Renbeck.
So he'll step in, right-handed batter. Jeffrey Foster from the stretch, now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Low, ball 1. Cooper Renbeck, right-handed batter. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs. Jeffrey Foster, freshman pitcher, pitching for the Caston Comets. Here comes the pitch. The foul ball, full swing, foul ball left side. Coach Bourdonnais going to track that one down. 2-1 count to Renbeck. Cooper Renbeck back in the box. Taking signals there from the stretch. Now the set. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Going to pop one up. Foul ball out of play. Count goes even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Darkness has set in here at Caston High School. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. High for ball 3. 3-2 count to Renbeck. Working from the stretch, Jeffrey Foster. Out of the set position. 3-2 pitch. Low for ball 4. So Cooper Renbeck walks to first base at a trot pace. And now it's going to be number 41, Brennan Van Kirk.
Now batting for the
Knights have 3 aboard, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. Out of the set, Foster. First pitch to Van Kirk. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. No balls, one strike. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the set, Foster. Here comes the pitch. Strike called. Count goes 0-2. 0-2 to Van Kirk. Jeffrey Foster looking for his first varsity strikeout. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Above the zone, ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peering in, looking at signals. Jeffrey Foster. Out of the set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. They're going to lock him up, and he's going to go down looking. And Jeffrey Foster comes up with a strikeout for the 3rd out. So the Knights are going to play defensively. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment. They are family owned and operated since 1955. You can increase your yield with Reynolds Farm Equipment. Tractors, combines, corn pickers, lawn mowers, etc. They have genuine John Deere equipment, new and used equipment available. Extraordinarily the best in the business. That's Reynolds. You can find Reynolds. You can visit them at their Atlanta, Indiana location. That's right there off of US 31, 1451 East, 276th Street. Right there on the over and under. It's an Atlanta address. It's on US 31. It's 2 miles south of 296th Street, which is the Tipton-Hamilton County line. Reynolds Farm Equipment, they have 5 locations. You can reach them at either location by dialing 800-333-6947. That's 800-333-6947. Or their Atlanta location on 31 is 317-758-4116. So little Eddie Money, the money man, on the music right here. Jason played some good tunes. The money man, Eddie Money, used to be a New York City cop, turned to a rock and roller. He sang well. We miss him. That darn C word took him away from us. So stepping into bat for Caston, going to be number 6, Landon Ellinger. He's a junior class member. Right into batter. First pitch above the zone, ball 1. So working on the mound right now is Keegan McCarter, who was number 27 for the Knights. Pitch comes in low and away, ball 2. Going to work from the stretch now. Nobody on base. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Ellinger. Right across the dish, strike called. So Keegan McCarter doing the pitching. Out of set. Here comes a 2-1 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swinging. Keegan McCarter, he's pitched in 4 1/3 innings. This is appearance number 6. And it's going to be a hit by pitch. So jogging to first base, Landon Ellinger, number 6 for the Comets. And Cooper Renback doing the catching. He jogging out. I'm going to talk with Keegan McCarter. Keegan McCarter, we'll also mention, he's faced 24 batters, 99 pitches. He's allowed 8 hits, 9 runs, 2 were earned. Out of the set, first pitch, swing and a miss. Now batting for the Caston Comets. Cameron Klingler, a senior class member. He's listed as an outfielder. Working from the stretch. Keegan McCarter out of the set. Here's the pitch. High for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Keegan McCarter has walked 2. He struck out 3. And he struck out one. Looking, he's hit one batter and now two. He's hit a second batter here in this ballgame, his first batter he's faced. Pitch comes in, strike called. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Keegan McCarter pitching from the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. Count goes full at 3-2. In the batter's box is number 28, Cameron Klingler. Runner at first base. For the Caston. He's going to be a full swing. Third base. Makes the stop. Goes across the diamond. Gets the put out. It was Tatum Adriano at third base. Thrown over to first base. And Alex Schumer now has another position that he's played for the Knights this season. He's at first base now. So he's been catcher, pitcher, right fielder, second baseman, first baseman. And I think he's also been somewhere else in the outfield. Last game or the game before. So here's the pitch. From high above the zone, ball 1. Keegan McCarter. Runner now at second base. How the set, Keegan McCarter. Here comes the pitch to Noah Hurd. Ball gets by the catcher. Cooper Renback. He'll retrieve it, and the runner will move to third base. Runner at third base is Landon Ellinger. Ellinger, a member of the junior class. Stepping back in, number 24, Noah Hurd. Out of the set, Keegan McCarter. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. Count goes 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Noah Hurd looking for a drivable pitch. Here comes the pitch. Inside, tight, ball 4. So he'll jog to first base. He'd have rather had a chance to swing the bat. The team player, he's at first base now. Ellinger is at third base. Stepping into bat, number 11, Carson Harness. 5 hitter. Also the shortstop, Carson Harness. Batting .245, first pitch in there for a strike from Keegan McCarter. Count goes 0-1. Harness on base percentage of .437. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. So count goes 0-2 to Carson Harness. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Appearing in the signals now out of the set. McCarter pitch outside a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on the corners for the Comets. Out of the set position, Keegan McCarter. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on, he'll drive one. Left field. It's going to be foul territory. Playable. Nope, it goes out of play. So he'll stay in the box here. Carson Harness will again have a 1-2 count. Steps back in. Working from the stretch. Now the set. Keegan McCarter. Here's the pitch. High and tight. Ball 2. Little chin music for Harness. And nothing's intentional. Out of the set. Keegan McCarter. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And he'll go down swinging. And there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Next batter stepping in, number 22, Parker Zimpelman. Parker Zimpelman bats in the 6th spot. Played third base pretty much all night. They're going to fake a throw to second base. And Cooper Renback had an opportunity to get a pickle at third base. They elected not to. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Strike called. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Out of the set. Here comes a pitch to Zimpelman. He'll take a foul ball, just barely foul, down the third base line, beyond the bag. And Zimpelman will come back, and Renback will hand the bat to him. It's all about the IHSAA. They love to see sportsmanship. 1 ball, 2 strikes out the set. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that will complete today's ball game. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Simon. Simon, you're great.
Thank you.
Your brother's cool. So we're going to bow out of here. We thank you for tuning in, and we thank Jason for his camaraderie. I appreciate you and your sons, too. And Jason, I also thank Mr. McGrew here, Simon, and his brother, left field, Drew. We hope to see you guys again, but we're going to bow out of here now. We thank you for listening, and the final score here, 24-7. We're going to bow out of here no matter if you're home or away. If you're doing the teaching and the learning, don't let him go. Keep the fire burning. Yeah.